Hello and welcome to Greenville Flyboys Baseball on the Greenville Flyboys Baseball Network. Nick Rodecap with you here at Pioneer Park on the campus of Tusculum University in Greenville, Tennessee. It's Game 2 of the season opening series between the Flyboys and the defending champion Danville Otterbots. We were rained out here last night on Star Wars night, so we will play 2 7-inning games to settle this series. The Flyboys 5-0 winners on opening night. That was on Thursday. Here on Saturday, they'll try to lock up the series, and if they can win Game 2, go for a sweep in the nightcap of Game 3. Thanks for joining us here on the Flyboys Baseball Network. Yesterday, during the rain delay, which soon turned into a cancellation, we had the chance to talk to second-year Flyboys outfielder Micah Jordan. He scored a run, stole a base, and tripled in the series opener on Thursday night. We caught up with him during the broadcast last night, and here is our conversation. So, season starting tomorrow. Micah Jordan joining us in the broadcast. How you feeling tonight?
Feeling great. I was ready to play some baseball, but the weather came and took it away from us.
And we saw you guys dancing down in the dugout. Did you happen to get in on the festivities?
Oh, yeah, we were all in there. It was actually a team rule. If you weren't in there, there'll be consequences.
Suffice it to say that everybody had to join the Just Dance festivities.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite song that you like to dance to?
I really don't, but the Umbrella song, she came down there and told us, like, yeah, let's do it. I like Rihanna, so why not?
And we've seen you show off your speed a little bit. Obviously, you were here last year, stole a ton of bases, and then again last night you hit a triple. Talked to Jack Wilson a couple days ago. He said that he encourages guys to take risks on the base pads. Are you kind of one of the guys that leads the charge with that?
Yeah, I am. So last year, Jack told me not to be so scared of my speed, which last year I was kind of in between ready to steal or not. So this year I'm going for to just go get every base I can, get as many extra base hits, and push singles into doubles, which is, scouts look for that, and it makes me a better player in general. So using my speed can actually be a weapon for me, so it's actually pretty good.
Is that something you look to take with you as you continue your career at Virginia Tech?
Oh, yeah, for sure. It'll take me a long way. I hear from many coaches how good my speed is, and if I use that, it'll get me in the place I want to be.
And as a base runner, if you're in the pitcher's head, do you kind of see that impact the way your teammates, maybe the pitches that they see coming up behind you?
Yeah, so actually yesterday when I stole second, the pitcher was so worried about me, it pulled the second baseman in, which is opening room in for Tyler Inge. He got a hit off that, so I scored from that as well. So getting in the pitcher's head, obviously stealing and all that, he can't think the pitch or how to pitch the guy he's facing. So it obviously opened up holes in the infield so I can get a hit. Tyler can get a hit and I get RBI for him.
And the pitchers last night for Greenville were fantastic. 18 strikeouts, including Justin Abercrombie. He struck out 6 guys in 2 innings. How is it as a fielder when the pitchers are just mowing those guys down like that?
Keeping it easy for us. Like, I ain't get one ball. We got one ball in the outfield last night. So if you're keeping it easy for us, which I'm still knowing to get these guys, they're all good dudes, coming from good backgrounds as well. So, them mowing down everybody makes our job easier.
And we were looking at the roster a little bit earlier on the broadcast. A lot of guys from Power 4 schools like yourself, but also the JUCO ranks, D3. What does it say about the talent at those levels that they're able to come compete here in the Appy League?
Yeah, the JUCO guys, all the D3, their work ethic is insane. Us Power 4 schools are blessed with the equipment and facilities to get better, which they have a better grind. And when they do get to these Power 4 schools, which they're here for, I think it'll take them a long way. They're all very talented and as equal as we are in Power 4. So.
And looking at the ACC, we saw North Carolina. They scored 18 runs in their super regional game today. What is it like experiencing those kinds of environments in one of the better conferences in all of D1 baseball?
You see a lot of good players come through bigger schools like that, especially ACC, SEC. So, seeing those schools compete and you competing against them is kind of surreal at the moment. But once you know you're one of them guys and as good as them, it's amazing, especially the atmosphere as well. So we played UNC actually. We won a game. The atmosphere was amazing. It's surreal to be in that moment.
And how does that make you better handling those environments from such a young point in your career?
Getting the experience early, that's all it is. Seeing all the fans and everything, buying into you, knowing that whatever you do makes them happy, makes the game easier, harder, whatever. But just standing within yourself and keeping the game is just playing ball. That's all it is, really.
Virginia Tech has a very big football atmosphere. Have you been a part of that as a fan or just as an observer?
We go to every game, especially the night games. Lane Stadium's rocking every night. It's amazing to see. It's amazing to be there. Aaron Sandman's definitely the best entrance in college football. There's nothing that can beat that. And being there to actually experience that is actually amazing to see. I love it being there, actually.
And final question, since it's Star Wars night, do you have any favorite Star Wars characters?
Yeah, I would say it's not really my favorite, but I just find him funny. Jabba the Hutt. He's actually just funny. the comments he throws in, especially his character is hilarious. But I like Luke Skywalker, the main dude of the thing. So yeah, I'm kind of a Star Wars guy, but I need to rewatch the series, get caught up though.
Ezra McNaughton said his favorite was Anakin. So we've got Jabba the Hutt, Luke Skywalker, and Anakin. We'll keep going down the list and seeing what we come up with. But hey, great to talk to you,
Thank you,
Micah.
sir.
And hopefully we can get this game played tonight.
Thank you, appreciate it.
This is our conversation with Flyboys outfielder Micah Jordan. Yesterday, obviously, we were not able to get the game in last night, so we're getting started a little bit earlier here tonight, just about 10 minutes away from first pitch. And we'll run you through the lineups. First, for the visiting Danville Otterbots, their second game of the season. They are managed by second-year manager Mickey Tettleton. Last year, they went 31-17. This year, the Otterbots 0-1 after falling on opening night. They'll look to get their first win of the season, and how they will do it is like this. The center fielder, Christian Hamilton, will lead things off, as he did on opening night. The second baseman, Zach Altamira, bats second. Garrett Shull in left field bats third. Khalil Pratt did not play on opening night, but he is batting cleanup and playing right field for the Otterbots this evening. Mason Pangborn, the shortstop, bats fifth. Eamon Chandler at first base bats sixth. Alexander Sifford, the DH, in the number 7 hole. Jackson Goldberg at third base batting eighth. Antonio Cordero, the catcher, batting ninth. And on the mound for the visiting Danville Otterbots, Brandon Jung. And for the home nine, the Greenville Flyboys, 1-0 on the young season after taking down the Otterbots 5-0 on opening night. Will line up much like they did in game number 1. Micah Jordan, who we just talked to, leads off. He'll be in right field instead of center field like he was on opening night. The third baseman, Peyton Miller, bats second. The second baseman, Tyler Inge, bats third. Ezra McNaughton, the designated hitter, batting cleanup. Lane Akers did not play on opening night, but he's in left field this evening. Reed Hare, the center fielder, bats sixth. Dylan Jackson, the catcher, bats seventh. A.J. Diaz, the first baseman, in the number 8 hole. And rounding out the Flyboys lineup at shortstop, Jace Patton. Towing the slab for Greenville, a right-hander, Matthew Egan. So that's how both of these teams line up here at Pioneer Park in the first game of this 7-inning doubleheader. And if we're tied after 7 innings, we will play 1 half inning, which the home team will dictate whether or not they want to play defense or if they want to hit. And if whichever team is hitting scores a run, they win. But if the home team or whoever decides to play defense gets 3 outs, then they are declared the winners. We will take a quick break, be back with the first pitch right after this. Flyboys and Otterbots just about set to get underway. You're listening to the Greenville Flyboys Baseball Network. It's baseball season, and nothing goes better with baseball than a hot dog. Elm Hill Hot Dogs is proud to be the official hot dog of the Greenville Flyboys. Elm Hill is the only hot dog made right here in Tennessee. So enjoy a hot dog the next time you're at Pioneer Park, or pick some up at your local grocery retailer. Ready to take the field with the Greenville Flyboys this summer? The Flyboys Field of Dreams experience will give your child the opportunity to stand alongside the Flyboys during the national anthem and the chance to run the bases after the game. Perfect for little leagues, softball teams, youth groups, organizations, and teams of any kind. Call 423-609-7400 to book your Field of Dreams experience today. Rediscover the timeless pleasures of travel at Northeast Tennessee's premier historic hotel, the General Morgan Inn. Located in the heart of historic downtown Greenville, the hotel has been providing signature service since 1884. The boutique hotel is renowned for its personal service amid beautifully detailed guest rooms. Plan your visit now at the General Morgan Inn, the official visiting team hotel of the Greenville Flyboys. Call 423-787-1000. Brumley's Restaurant, located in the historic General Morgan Inn in downtown Greenville, always hits a home run when it comes to providing delicious cuisine served with Southern hospitality. Join them for dinner for the region's best steaks, seafood, burgers, and more. Open Tuesdays through Saturdays, 5 to 9 p.m. Reservations recommended. Call 423-787-7500. Looking to plan your next company or group outing? Join us at Pioneer Park this summer with the Flyboys Picnic, with a catered buffet from Top Choice Barbecue for up to 150 people. Call 423-609-7400 to book your picnic today. Looking to bring a group of 10 or more to Pioneer Park this summer? Group tickets start at $6 per person. Perfect for your company outing, employee appreciation,
client appreciation, church and youth outings, birthdays, and more. Call 423-609-7400 to book your group outing today.
Back here at Pioneer Park, the national anthem just about ready to be played, and then we are ready for baseball. Flyboys and Otterbots coming up, but first, our national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now ask that you please rise, remove your caps. We encourage all veterans to render a hand salute. Direct your attention to left field as we honor America with the singing of our national anthem. Singing tonight, please welcome Zachary Baropoulos.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Zachary Baropoulos, the anthem singer this afternoon. We're set to play two, Pioneer Park, the Flyboys and the Otterbots. The Flyboys have taken the field wearing their Star Wars-themed jerseys that they did not get the chance to wear last night because of the rainout.
Group of kids ready to start off the game for us.
Very emphatic play ball from some kids down on the field. The Flyboys did not get to wear the Star Wars-themed jerseys last night, so they're wearing them in Game 1 of this doubleheader here today. They are, I'd say, dark blue, maybe with a little bit of purple in there, with Star Wars ships in white numerals outlined in black. The Flyboys have red hats, and their cream off-white home pants for Game 1 of this doubleheader. Not a uniform description I've had to give before. The Otterbots in the same uniforms that they wore in Game 1. Black jerseys with blue numerals outlined in white, with the traveling gray pants, and as Pat Hughes always says, a variety of shoe colors. A lot of white spikes on the feet of players from both teams. Matthew Egan on the mound for the Flyboys in Game 1 of this doubleheader. Egan, 6'2", 190 pounds, out of Queen's University of Charlotte, where he just finished his freshman year. Only made 2 starts in 16 appearances, so this is his 3rd start of his college career at any level, be it summer ball or otherwise. The Flyboys pitching staff was masterful in the season opener against the Otterbots 2 nights ago. 5 pitchers combined for a shutout, in which they struck out 18 batters while stranding 13 Otterbots base runners. And that's something I'm interested to see how it shakes out. The walks were a problem for both teams. The Flyboys issued 11. The Otterbots only issued 6, but the Flyboys made it count. Danville 0 for 9 with runners in scoring position on opening night. 4 for 29 as a team. That's a 139 team batting average. Flyboys scored all 5 of those runs in the season opener in the first 3 innings. They struck first on an RBI single from Tyler Ainge, added 2 more on a bloop single from Ezra McNaughton that dropped in shallow left field, and the final run of the night scored on an RBI double from Dylan Jackson in the 3rd inning. From there, the pitching staff did the rest. Matthew Egan is all but warmed up. We're just about ready to go here from Pioneer Park. The catcher behind the plate for the Flyboys is Dylan Jackson. Brady Francisco caught on opening night. He is on the bench to start this one. Everybody from both teams at the top steps of their respective dugouts. The Flyboys' home dugout is on the first base side. The Otterbots camped out on the third base side here this evening. Striding toward the plate is the Otterbots center fielder, Christian Hamilton. And we are just about ready to get underway. Game time temperature here at Pioneer Park, 80 degrees. Some clouds behind the outfield. And weather may be a factor tonight like it was last night. There are some thunderstorms moving in about the 9 o'clock hour. So fans, players, everybody hoping for perhaps a fast first game. That way we can get the second game in as well. Matthew Egan's first pitch, a called strike to Christian Hamilton, and we are underway. First pitch time, 5:01 p.m. Last night, or I should say the game 2 nights ago, 3 hours and 3 minutes. Also be getting 1 minute past the top of the hour. Hamilton chases a fastball up and out of the zone from Matthew Egan. The count quickly 0-2. Flyboys infielders playing at normal depth. A.J. Diaz, the first baseman, maybe a couple steps further in and toward the line than usual against the left-handed hitting Christian Hamilton. The righty Egan delivers the 0-2. It's a breaking ball swung on and missed. Hamilton strikes out on 3 pitches, and that's the first out of the ballgame. Next to the plate, the second baseman for Danville, Zach Altamira. Mentioned A.J. Diaz is over there at first base. The rest of the Flyboys' defensive alignment looks like this. Matthew Egan on the mound, Dylan Jackson behind the plate. Peyton Miller moves from second base to third base for tonight's game. Jace Patton at shortstop, Tyler Ainge at second, and Diaz over at first. The right-hander Altamira awaits. Egan from the windup. First pitch, low and outside as it bounces to the screen. Left to right in the outfield for the Flyboys. Lane Akers, Reed Hare is in center, and Micah Jordan is in right field. Jordan a long way off that right field line, but he's got a ton of speed, so not as much of a problem as it might be for other outfielders. A hard hit ball on the ground to second, fielded on a hop by Tyler Ainge. Throw to first is in time, and Altamira is retired. 2 quick outs recorded by Egan here in the top of the first. That ball was stung right back up the middle. Unfortunately for Altamira, Tyler Ainge was positioned perfectly. The number 3 hitter, Garrett Shull, digs in, batting from the left side. Shull, one of many players in the Appy League out of Oklahoma State. Egan winds and deals. Shull taps this one on the ground to first. Retreating is Diaz. He plays it on a hop, steps on the bag, beats Shull by a step. And it's a 1-2-3 first inning for the Flyboys as Egan works it and the Otterbots are retired in order. We'll go to the home half of inning number 1. Danville nothing, Greenville coming to bat on the Flyboys Baseball Network.
It's Kids Club Sunday at Pioneer Park. All Kids Club members get a free ticket to the game, a 10% off merchandise card, and get to run the bases after the game. Gates open at 1 p.m., first pitch is at 2. Sign up for the Kids Club and get your tickets at flyboysbaseball.com. Discover the magic of live entertainment at the Niswonger Performing Arts Center. Since 2004, NPAC has hosted thousands of concerts and events in its state-of-the-art 1,150-seat venue. From classic rock to country, bluegrass, jazz, comedy, and theatrical productions, NPAC brings outstanding performances to the stage. Visit the Niswonger Performing Arts Center at 212 Tusculum Boulevard, Greenville, Tennessee, 37745. Box office hours Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Phone 423-638-1679. Experience the arts at NPAC, Northeast Tennessee's premier destination. Radio broadcaster of your Greenville Flyboys. You're listening to Flyboys Baseball on the Greenville Flyboys Baseball Network. Craving pizza? Look no further than Pizza Inn in Greenville, America's hometown pizza place since 1958. Handmade daily with fresh dough. Original thin and original pizza buffet. Choose from a variety of pizzas, pasta, salad, and desserts. Located at 275 East Andrew Johnson Highway. Open daily from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday through Thursday and 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. Friday and Saturday. Call 423-638-2000 or visit Pizza Inn's website for more information. Enjoy the deliciousness at Pizza Inn.
Back here at Pioneer Park, scoreless as we head to the bottom of the first. Danville taking the field. They'll line up like this. Brandon Jung is on the mound for the visiting Otterbots. Antonio Cordero, the catcher this afternoon. Jackson Goldberg is at third base. Mason Pangborn is the shortstop. Zach Altamira is at second base. Eamon Chandler over at first. Garrett Scholl, Christian Hamilton, and Khalil Pratt left to right in the outfield. Micah Jordan leading things off for the Flyboys, facing the right-hander Brandon Jung. Righty-righty matchup here. Jung from the windup. First pitch to Jordan on the way. Swung on, roped into left field for a base hit. Jordan rounding first base. He'll retreat, but one pitch, and the leadoff man is aboard for the Flyboys.
Batting for the Flyboys, number 4, Nathan Miller.
And as we talked to Jordan before this game got underway, he told us he wanted to be more aggressive on the base paths this year. Stole a base in the series opener and proved to be all kinds of trouble for the opposing defense. Peyton Miller, the batter, in the righty box. First pitch to him is a slider in the dirt. Cordero keeps it in front. Jordan with a healthy lead over there at first base. And as we talked to him about it, sometimes just the thought of him stealing is enough for opposing pitchers to have trouble. It doesn't even have to be that he takes off from the base. 1-0 the count to Miller. Jordan takes off. The pitch swung on and missed. Throw down from Cordero is high. Jordan is safe at second base. Cordero got out of his crouch quickly, but not fast enough to stop Micah Jordan, who is now in scoring position for the Flyboys. Already his second stolen base in one game, plus, well, no outs, but we'll say a half inning. Jordan, not a threat, I would say, to swipe third with a righty in the batter's box, but we'll see. He's inching off second base, does not go, and the 1-1 is a called strike. Looks like a changeup from Brandon Jung to get him ahead in the count, 1-2. No score, bottom of the first, just underway here from Pioneer Park. All of fair territory, shrouded in the sun. First base side and foul ground is in the shadows. The 1-2 to Miller, low and inside. Flyboys only had 5 hits in the series opener. It was kind of an odd game. You think if the opposing team gets through the lineup 4 full times, they probably scored at least once, but Danville did not. Flyboys got to the 5th time through the order and scored 5 runs. Jordan dancing off second. Now the 2-2. Inside and low. Full count to Peyton Miller. Base runners have been a problem in Brandon Jung's career. Total up his stats from every level, be it summer ball or collegiate ball. 105.1 innings pitched and a whip of 1.87. That accounts for walks and hits as well. Full count on Miller. The stretch and the pitch. A beautiful slider. Strike 3 called at the knees. A great pitch there from Brandon Jung on 3-2. That slider started off the plate inside to the right-handed hitting Miller and ended up right over the middle of the plate about knee-high. So the man who had the first RBI in the Flyboys win on opening day has a chance to open the scoring in game number 2 as well. Tyler Inge to the plate. Jung from the stretch. Second baseman creeps. No pickoff. Instead, the pitch misses low. And you see the second baseman out there, Zach Altamira, shading towards that second base bag. Inge might think about going the other way, just like he did a couple nights ago. Jung sets. Now an inside move to second, but nobody's covering the base. Jordan was nearly halfway to third as Jung entered his motion. It's so tough as a pitcher because it's hard enough to get outs when the bases are empty. You add a base runner like Jordan at second base, and it could create all kinds of problems. Jordan's halfway to third. This time he takes off. The pitch, a called strike. Throw down to third. Nowhere near in time. Micah Jordan has turned a leadoff single into effectively a triple, stealing both second and third. Infielders remain back. Jordan 90 feet away from becoming the game's first run. 1-1 the count on Tyler Inge. Jung still working from the stretch. A deep breath in the pitch. Inge takes low and in. It squirts away from Cordero, but not far enough for Jordan to try to score. Jung looking in for the sign from Cordero. He's set. And now the 2-1. Tried the slider again. This time it missed low. We've seen a healthy dose of that breaking ball from Jung. All three hitters to the plate so far have been right-handed hitters. But that time, Jung could not land it for a strike. 3-1 the count. Inge waits. Now the pitch. Hit on the ground to second. This will get the run home. Altamira's only play is to first. Inge is retired, but on the play, Jordan crosses home plate, and the Flyboys take a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the first. Bases empty, 2 away. 1 run home, and the batter, Ezra McNaughton.
Now, batting for the Flyboys, number 34, Ezra McNaughton.
McNaughton named player of the game on opening night by manager Jack Wilson. Zach Wilson is a quarterback in the National Football League. Jack Wilson is the Greenville Flyboys manager. Hits from the left side, crowds the plate. Jung from the windup. A first pitch strike on a backdoor slider. Jung definitely confident in that breaking ball. Showing it to all three right-handed hitters and now the left-handed hitter, Ezra McNaughton. He comes back with the 0-1. Outside. Looked like the changeup missing the mark that time. The Otterbots pitching staff last season was the best in the Appy League. They recorded 7 shutouts, which led the league by far. No other team had more than 1. 1-1 fouled off to the left side. The Flyboys were second in team ERA, just over 4. The Otterbots were first, right at 4. They also led the league in, well, just about every other category as well. Opponents' batting average, whip, team strikeouts. The Otterbots at the top of all of those lists. Jung gets the sign. He's ahead of McNaughton 1-2. Now the wind in the pitch. In the dirt. Tried to get McNaughton to go fishing at an off-speed pitch, but the count is 2-2. 1 run home. Micah Jordan singled, stole second and third, and scored on the RBI ground out from Tyler Inge. The difference in the game so far. Now the 2-2. McNaughton taps it on the ground to the right side, fielded there by Eamon Chandler. He calls off Jung, steps on the bag himself, and the side is retired. But the Flyboys strike first on the RBI ground out from Tyler Inge, and after an inning, 1-0 Flyboys over the Otterbots on the Greenville Flyboys Baseball Network.
Schwartz Construction Solutions is your local trusted exterior remodeling company, specializing in building decks, porches, garages, and room additions. They have served the Tri-Cities for over a decade, have a high customer return rate, and are BBB accredited. Give Schwartz Construction Solutions a call to discuss your next project. 2025 Greenville Flyboys baseball season is underway at Pioneer Park. Single game tickets for every Flyboys home game can be purchased online at flyboysbaseball.com. Skip the line and buy online at flyboysbaseball.com. Looking to watch a Greenville Flyboys baseball game in style this summer? Book your very own luxury suite for 20 of your employees, clients, friends, or family. That includes indoor and outdoor seating, air conditioning, TV, and your own personal suite hostess. Suite catering provided by Top Choice Barbecue can be included for an additional fee. Call 423-609-7400 to book your luxury suite today. It's Greenville Flyboys season, and what better way to enjoy the games at Pioneer Park than from your own personal seats? Season tickets and mini plans are available now, starting at only $80. Secure your seats today by stopping by our ticket office or calling 423-609-7400. Unbound Digital provides managed IT services that ensure your business stays connected.
Back here at Pioneer Park, Flyboys out to a 1-0 lead over the Danville Otterbots, getting set for the top of the second inning. Matthew Egan set down the side in order in the first. It'll be 4, 5, and 6 due up for Danville. Khalil Pratt leads things off. He did not play in the series opener, but starting in right field, batting cleanup for game 2 of the series. And when you look at the numbers from opening night for Danville, it makes sense that they would mix up the middle third of their lineup a little bit. Pratt in the lefty batter's box. Egan, the right-hander, working with a 1-0 lead. This ball is stung into center field off the bat of Pratt. Hare going back just in front of the 400 sign. He cannot make the catch as the ball lands on the track. Pratt thinking 3. He's in there at third base as the ball squirts away from Miller. It's a leadoff triple for Khalil Pratt, and the Otterbots are threatening here in the second. That ball was smashed to straightaway center. Reed Hare had to run a long way just to have a chance at making that play. He collided with the wall right as the ball landed on the track. Pratt at that point was off to the races, rounding second. It was a good relay from Hare to the shortstop, Jace Patton. But the throw to third base just slipped out of the glove of Peyton Miller. And the tying run 90 feet away for Mason Pangborn, the shortstop. Corner infielders creep in. First pitch to Pangborn, lifted foul to the third base side. And as you look at the lack of production from Danville on opening night, their 3-4 hitters, a combined 1 for 8 with 6 strikeouts. Now, they did walk a couple of times, but did not provide that big spark. The 0-1 to Pangborn. Swung on and missed. It gets away from Jackson, and on the passed ball, it goes into the dugout, and we're tied at 1. That might actually be scored a wild pitch. That ball was in the dirt well before it got to home plate. Either way, the run scores, and we're tied at 1 here in the second. So no RBI opportunity for Mason Pangborn. The count 0-2, but the run scores. Nobody away in the top of the second. It's a 1-1 game. Egan back out of the windup. And the 0-2 misses well outside. Looks like it slipped out of his hand a little bit earlier than he wanted. Eamon Chandler batted third for the Otterbots on opening night. Went 1 for 5 with 3 strikeouts. He moves down and is due up after Mason Pangborn. The 1-2 outside as well. Jackson has to corral it in front of home plate. The count is even. The sun has snuck behind the clouds, and we've seen a lot of clouds over the last 2 days at Pioneer Park. Last night's game rained out. And right as we went down to pull the tarp, half an hour before first pitch, you saw a wall of clouds sneaking in from behind the third base dugout. The 2-2 hit on the ground to short. Jace Patton is there, shuffles his feet, makes a strong throw to first. And Pangborn is gone on the ground out. A run in, 1 away in the top of the second, the batter, Eamon Chandler. But we timed the tarp pole yesterday about as perfectly as you can time a tarp pole, because you couldn't really see it from where we are in the press box. But if you look over the third base stands, about 24 hours ago, it was just solid black in the sky, really. Chandler the next to hit. First pitch to him, a backdoor slider for a strike from Matthew Egan. Eamon Chandler, a left-handed hitting infielder, committed to Virginia Tech. Just finished his high school career in Philadelphia. The 0-1. Misses upstairs, and it pops out of the mitt of Dylan Jackson. He looks to the mitt as if to ask, hey, what are you doing? I never played catcher, so I never realized this until I started catching some of my friends when we would go out to baseball fields in Bloomington, Indiana, and just play the baseball equivalent of a pickup game. The 1-1 to Chandler. A nice backdoor breaking ball right on the outside edge. Chandler behind 1-2. Catcher's mitts don't have a lot of real estate where you can actually catch the ball without it hurting your hand. And as someone who played a lot of first base, I was used to the opposite of that. It was an interesting reality check. The 1-2 to Chandler, outside. Jackson tried to bring it back to the corner, but the count is 2-2. And it made me wonder, how does anybody catch somebody like Paul Skeens throwing 100 miles an hour with all kinds of movement? Makes me appreciate Major League catchers even more. The 2-2 to Chandler. Backdoor slider, strike 3 called. Chandler knew it. No argument from him as he strolls back to the dugout. And Eamon Chandler, 2 nights ago, struck out 3 times in 5 innings. One of those was looking. He's the second out here in the top of the second. It's a 1-1 game. The batter, Alexander Sifford, the DH. Egan winds and deals. Sifford takes a fastball on the outside chalk. When Sifford is not DHing, he plays the infield. Played third base in game 1 of this series. The 1-0. Sifford fouls it off at home plate. That ball hit him in the batter's box. Majoring in finance at the University of Georgia. We were talking about how far the nearest Major League stadium is to Greenville, Tennessee. It's almost a tie between Truist Park in Atlanta, not far from Athens, and Cincinnati, oddly enough. 1-1 to Sifford. Fastball misses outside once again. The count is 2-1. Base is empty, 2 away in the top of the second. But it's about 4.5 hours to both Atlanta and Cincinnati, which kind of surprised me as a Midwest native. 2-1, fastball misses up and away. I would have expected probably Cincinnati to be a little bit further, but on second thought, it's about 6 hours from here to Indianapolis, so I guess that makes sense. 3-1 to Sifford, the pitch from Egan. Hit in the air to right center field. Hare and Jordan converging, and Reed Hare calls off Michael Jordan. The Flyboys center fielder makes the catch deep in the right center field gap, and the side is retired. But the Otterbots tie it up. On the leadoff triple from Khalil Pratt, he scores on the wild pitch. And after an inning and a half, we're tied at 1. Flyboys and Otterbots on the Greenville Flyboys Baseball Network.
Provides managed IT services that ensure your business stays connected, secure, and running smoothly. With 24/7 monitoring, guaranteed response times, and expert support, we take care of your technology needs so you can focus on what matters most, your business. Plus, our customizable service plans are tailored to fit your unique requirements, providing flexibility and peace of mind. Contact us today for a free consultation at unbounddigital.net or call 423-467-7777. Experience crystal clear communication, cost savings, and advanced features with Unbound Digital's VoIP phones. Say goodbye to outdated phone systems and hello to seamless, reliable connections. Our VoIP solutions offer flexibility and scalability, supporting your business growth. With features like auto attendant, call forwarding, and mobile integration, you can enhance your customer service and productivity. Plus, our dedicated support team ensures a smooth transition and ongoing assistance. Make the smart move today and reach out to Unbound Digital for a free consultation at unbounddigital.net or call 423-467-7777. Your website is often the first impression customers have of your business. With Unbound Digital's website design services, you'll have a stunning, user-friendly site that captures attention and drives results. Our experienced team works closely with you to understand your brand and goals, delivering a custom-designed website that reflects your unique identity. From e-commerce solutions to mobile optimization, we've got you covered. Plus, our ongoing support ensures your website stays up-to-date and secure. Take your online presence to the next level. Contact us at unbounddigital.net or call 423-467-7777 for a free consultation.
Bottom of the second here at Pioneer Park. We're tied at 1. Flyboys and Otterbots. Here at the home of the Greenville Flyboys, on the campus of Tusculum University, Nick Rotacap with you on the Flyboys Baseball Network. 5-6-7 in the lineup for Greenville due up here in the home second.
Leading off for the Flyboys, number 20, Lane Eager.
After the Otterbots were shut out on opening night, they've already scored infinitely more runs than they did 2 nights ago. Blaine Akers, Reed Hare, and Dylan Jackson due up for Greenville, facing the lefty Brandon Jung, who's back out there. Or actually, check that. He's not. That's a pitching change for Danville. We'll get to it in a second, but first, a ground ball to short, fielded by Mason Pangborn. Akers has gone on 1 pitch. Get the details on the new pitcher as soon as we can find them. It's a southpaw. On the bump for the Otterbots. And because they have numbers only on the backs of their jerseys, I can't see the number quite yet. Reed Hare digs in, lefty-lefty matchup. First pitch, up and in as he leans out of the way just a little bit.
Holy shnikes.
1-0 the count on Hare. Now the pitch, up and away. He squared the bunt, pulled back. Third baseman Jackson Goldberg crashing just a little bit. He'll retreat as the count is now 2-0 on Hare. Hitless on opening night, 0 for 3, but he did pick up an RBI on a bases-loaded walk. Swings away on 2-0 and swings through a fastball for strike 1. Brandon Stevens, the new pitcher on the mound for the Otterbots. The 2-1, a jam shot into shallow left. That's down for a base hit off the bat of Reed Hare.
Yeah, baby.
Did not put good wood on it, but found green grass, and it goes as a line drive single in the book.
Now, batting for the Blood Boys, number 15, Dylan Jackson.
So the book closed on the Otterbots starter Brandon Jung. Worked just 1 inning. An earned run on a hit, no walks and a strikeout. Hare off of first, and the first pitch to Dylan Jackson, a changeup low and outside.
Nope.
And Danville exchanging one Brandon for another. Brandon Stevens out of Coppin State, where he spent the last 2 seasons. 1-0 to Jackson, popped foul behind home plate, and over the roof. Stevens, 2 seasons at Coppin State, 39 1/3 innings pitched. Strikeouts his forte, but walks have been a problem for him as well. Next pitch lifted into shallow right. Pratt went back a few steps, now coming in towards the gap, makes the catch. Hare retreats back to first, 2 gone, and the batter is A.J. Diaz.
Now, batting for the Blood Boys, number 5.
1-1 game, we're in the bottom of the second.
Diaz.
Flyboys struck first. Micah Jordan manufactured a run. A leadoff single, stole second and third, scored on an RBI groundout. Otterbots responded with a leadoff triple from Pratt, who just made the catch in right field, and he scored on a wild pitch. First pitch to the righty, A.J. Diaz, low and in from the southpaw Stevens. Jace Patton, the shortstop, waiting on deck if Stevens can reach. A short lead for Hare at first base. Next pitch fouled back to the all-brick backstop, and the count is 1-1. Couple players milling around in the Flyboys bullpen. Nobody's up and throwing right now. I see 5 Otterbots on the bench in their bullpen down the third base line. 1 sitting on the wall, but nobody throwing there either. Now the 1-1. A slow curveball that misses inside to Diaz. Stevens with a red glove on his right hand, white spikes as he toes the middle of the rubber. An open set in the 2-1. Low and in, ball 3. Trying to jam up Diaz with a couple pitches off the inside half of the plate, but Diaz not biting. 3-1, 2 outs, man on first is Reed Hare. We'll see if he goes here. He does not. The pitch hit in the air to center field. Hamilton broke in, now back a couple steps. He's camped under it, and he's got it. The side is retired. The Flyboys a hit and a man left as we go to the top of the third, tied at 1 on the Greenville Flyboys Baseball Network.
Protecting your business from cyber threats is more important than ever. Unbound Digital's cybersecurity solutions provide comprehensive protection, ensuring your data and systems remain secure. Our proactive approach includes regular security assessments, threat detection, and risk mitigation strategies. With industry-leading tools and expertise, we safeguard your business against evolving cyber threats. Plus, our training programs empower your staff to recognize and respond to potential security threats. Trust our experts to safeguard your business. Contact us today at unbounddigital.net or call 423-467-7777 for a free consultation. Stay connected with what matters most. GEA Connect offers reliable, local internet starting at just $50 a month, and all customers that are in the GEA Connect service territory are eligible for this rate. Enjoy fast speeds and dependable service that keeps the whole family online. Visit mygea.net or call 423-636-6200 today to learn how we can connect your home. Netting Pros and Stadionic are proud to return as the official netting partner of the Appalachian League. Our team prides themselves on making sports facilities iconic. Whether it's batting practice equipment, facility netting, custom wall padding, or so much more, Netting Pros and Stadionic are the most trusted names in the industry for facility equipment solutions. Visit nettingpros.com today to learn more.
Correcting the record in the bottom of the second, the Otterbots lefty was Matt Spada, not Brandon Stevens. It's funny because Spada listed on their roster as wearing number 47, was wearing number 15, and I was scrambling looking at their roster, realizing they don't have a number 15. So somebody pulled a fast one on me, but that's okay. It keeps me on my toes. Top of the third, 1-1 our score. Otterbots batting, looking to take their first lead of the season. We're only 2 games in, so it's a lot better than it actually sounds. 8-9-1 due up in their order, facing Matthew Egan, the Flyboys starter. Tall right-hander working to the right-handed batting third baseman Goldberg. He gets jammed, fights this one off into shallow center. Reed Hare has to play it on a hop. 1 pitch and a leadoff single for the Otterbots. Second straight inning, they've begun with a base hit. Antonio Cordero, the catcher, batting ninth, looking to reach base and set the table for the top of this Otterbots order to do some real damage. They had all kinds of chances in game 1 of this series, leaving 13 runners on base as they got shut out. This offense very potent, just looking for that big blow that they didn't get on opening night. First pitch breaking ball from Egan misses low to Cordero. Cordero, a very patient hitter. Did not get a hit in the series opener, but he walked 3 times, which is his MO in the batter's box. The 1-0. Fastball misses outside. 2 seasons at St. Bonaventure, just a .252 batting average, but 64 strikeouts, 43 walks. Not quite a 1-to-1 ratio, but very impressive nonetheless that he's able to work that many free passes. The 2-0. Lifts this one in the air, foul ground first base side. A long run for Diaz, and it drops. That ball landed on the grass in foul territory in shallow right field, but because there's so much space down the lines, Diaz didn't have a chance unless he perhaps had rocket boosters strapped to his spikes. So 2-1 the count on Cordero. Goldberg off of first base. Not a big threat to steal, but we'll see if he takes off. He does not. And the 2-1. Nice pitch on the outside edge. Looked like a changeup or maybe a cutter that time from Matthew Egan. And the count 2-2. Egan talking to the home plate umpire. I think it's Cade Williamson back there today. That one looked like it may have been borderline. Egan set. Cordero waits. The 2-2. In the dirt. Nice block by Jackson. Getting his body in front of it on a short hop. Count is full. Nobody out. Man at first. We're in the top of inning number 3. 1-1 our score. Flyboys and Otterbots. In the first game of a 7-inning doubleheader as we wrap up this opening series here at Pioneer Park. Goldberg gets his lead. Egan's ready. And the payoff. Outside, ball 4. Egan pulled the fastball that time. And now it's trouble. As the top of the order rolls back over, Christian Hamilton will hit for the second time. There is a right-hander up and throwing in the Flyboys bullpen. And we'll have a meeting on the mound between the infielders, the pitcher Matthew Egan, and the pitching coach Jared Morton for the Flyboys. A big spot here, Christian Hamilton looking to do some damage for the Otterbots. Probably chomping at the bit. Hasn't done a whole lot from that leadoff spot so far, but he's got a chance to give the Otterbots a lead with a base hit. Can even score a pair if he gets one into the gap. Pioneer Park, very expansive outfield. 331 to the corners, 400 to dead center. The wall is the same all the way around. No quirky cutouts or anything like that. But the outfield, cavernous. There's a lot of space to cover out there. You get one into the gap, it could be trouble. Goldberg now at second, Cordero at first, the batter Hamilton in the lefty box. An upright stance, crowding the plate a little bit. First pitch from Egan. Fastball right at the knees for a strike on the inside corner. Hamilton didn't like it. I think he thought it was low and maybe a touch inside. Egan looking for a big out here, a strikeout or a double play. Either one would go a long way. A look back at second. Runner has a big lead. The 0-1. Breaking ball low and away. A little bit of a breeze blowing out to straightaway left field here in Pioneer Park. The trees beyond the outfield wall, though, not moving much, if at all. Corner infielders now move in a touch. The 1-1 to Hamilton. Hit hard into center field, a base hit. Goldberg got a late jump, had to make sure it dropped. And that is a big break by the Flyboys as Goldberg gets no further than third base. Jace Patton, the shortstop, I think might have deked him out a little bit. Put his hands up as if to say, I got it, I'll make the catch. That ball was well over his head. But Goldberg had to make sure that it got over Patton's head into center field. Now, though, the bases are loaded for Zach Altamira with nobody out here in the top of the third. It's a 1-1 game, but the Otterbots looking to change that very quickly. Corner infielders in with the bases loaded. And now Egan steps off as Goldberg started trotting down the third base line. Egan will go from the windup here with the bases juiced and nobody out. First pitch to Altamira. A fastball for a strike. Right over the outer half of the plate. And if you're Egan, what you're looking for here, obviously the strikeout would be huge, but also a hard-hit ground ball. It either gives you the chance to turn two, or if you hit it at a corner infielder, you've got the force play at the plate. The 0-1. Altamira takes another fastball for a strike. That one further outside, maybe a ball off the plate, but Egan got the call. The count quickly 0-2. Altamira looking to at least put the ball in play here. Egan from the windup, the pitch. Hit hard, back up the middle on a hop, fielded by Ainge to the second base bag for one, on to first, not in time. Ainge had to wait for it to get down. Patton did a good job to tag the second base bag and get one. Goldberg scores on the play. Cordero over to third base. Hamilton retired on the 4-6 fielder's choice. Altamira takes his place at first base, and now we'll have another meeting on the mound. I think this is going to be all for the Flyboys starter, Matthew Egan. Goes 2 1/3, allowing at least 2 runs on, it looks like, 3 hits. Striking out a pair and walking 1. But he is responsible for the runners on the corners. We'll get you the details on the new Flyboys pitcher here in just a moment. As Egan getting fist bumps from his teammates as he walks into the Flyboys dugout on the first base side. Otterbots now up 2-1 here in the top of inning number 3 as the Flyboys go to the bullpen with runners on the corners and 1 away. pitcher for Greenville, a right-hander. Jace Smith on out of the bullpen. Want to wait for confirmation to make sure it is actually him. We've already had one pitching change go by the wayside, but it is Jace Smith. On in a big spot. Trying to keep the Otterbots from extending their lead, and as he warms up, we'll take a short break. Otterbots up over the Flyboys 2-1 and threatening for more here on the Flyboys Baseball Network.
It's baseball season, and nothing goes better with baseball than a hot dog. Elm Hill Hot Dogs is proud to be the official hot dog of the Greenville Flyboys. Elm Hill is the only hot dog made right here in Tennessee. So enjoy a hot dog the next time you're at Pioneer Park, or pick some up at your local grocery retailer. Ready to take the field with the Greenville Flyboys this summer? The Flyboys Field of Dreams experience will give your child the opportunity to stand alongside the Flyboys during the national anthem and the chance to run the bases after the game. Perfect for little leagues, softball teams, youth groups, organizations, and teams of any kind. Call 423-609-7400 to book your Field of Dreams experience today.
Jace Smith on out of the bullpen. For the Flyboys, we're in the top of inning number 3. 2-1 Danville for now, although they've got the chance to do some more damage here. Smith on in relief of Matthew Egan, going 2 1/3 as the Flyboys starter here this afternoon. He's responsible for the runners on first and third, as 4 men have reached consecutively to start this top of the third for Danville. Jace Smith replacing Matthew Egan and facing the heart of this Danville order. 3-4-5 waiting in the wings. Garrett Shull, the first to face the right-hander. Shull digging in from the lefty box. You think advantage hitter here. Back-to-back lefties due up to face Smith, the righty. First pitch to Shull, wrapped on the ground to first. That's down the line, a fair ball as it gets past a diving Diaz. 1 run scores. Altamira will score all the way from first as Jordan just now digs it out of the right field corner. And it is a stand-up 2-run triple off the bat of Garrett Shull. Otterbots now up 4-1 here in the top of inning number 3. And we had talked about how big the outfield is here at Pioneer Park. Micah Jordan has great speed, but it took him a while to get into that right field corner. And you could tell Shull was thinking 3 right out of the batter's box. The next to hit, another left-handed bat with big power, Khalil Pratt, who tripled and scored the Otterbots' first run back in the second inning. Shull at third base, the infielders are back. First pitch from Smith, a strike on a fastball. So the book now closed on Matthew Egan, 4 runs all earned in 2 1/3. 3 hits, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. The 0-1. Slider misses outside. Smith had it pop out of his hand just a little bit early. From the stretch, the 1-1. Missing low. And if you're Smith, you see what Khalil Pratt did in his last plate appearance with that triple. And maybe you're thinking about pitching around him here, trying to get him to chase, but not worrying if he reaches because he'll set up the double play with only 1 out. The 2-1. Pratt takes, I don't know where that missed. Home plate umpire Cade Williamson thinks it was maybe higher inside. Looks like a cut fastball that caught a good portion of the plate, but the count is 3-1 on Pratt. Great take from the man who redshirted his first year at Kentucky. The pitch. That one on the outside edge, and the count runs full. Infielders look like they'll concede the run. Both corner infielders well behind their respective bases. Now the payoff to Pratt. Stung foul to the left side. That might actually hit my car in the parking lot. Waiting on deck is Mason Pangborn, the Otterbots shortstop. 4-1 Danville in the top of inning number 3. Runner on third with one away. Smith sets on the first base side of the rubber, and the 3-2 to Pratt. Swung on and missed for strike 3. That is a big second out. So now the Otterbots cannot trade it out for a run. Already leading 4-1 in this one. Mason Pangborn, the last hope for the visitors, in the top of inning number 3. Three straight lefty bats facing Jace Smith, the right-hander out of the Flyboys bullpen. First pitch to Pangborn outside. Pangborn thought about swinging, but held his hands back. Egan, a closed set, and the 1-0. Hit hard, but foul to the third base side. We were talking about the standing water on the warning track yesterday during the rain delay. Warning tracks are muddy by the dugouts, but the grounds crew did a fantastic job getting the field ready. We took the tarp off at about 1:30. Now we're playing baseball for the first time in 2 days. Pangborn swings and misses, and the count is 1-2. Smith getting him to swing through that one. Both middle infielders a step onto the outfield grass. Corner infielders back as well. Smith looking for a second consecutive K. The 1-2. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. Pangborn thought maybe he'd watched a ball go by, but the home plate umpire, Cade Williams, said, "You're gone." And we're on to the bottom of inning number 3, but not before Danville scores 3 times. They lead 4-1 on the Flyboys Baseball Network.
What I know about courage, I learned from my adoptive mom. She said sometimes you just gotta hold on and know we'll get through this. Mom, we are so high up. Hold my hand.
No, you hold my hand.
Here we go.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Protecting your business from cyber threats is more important than ever. Unbound Digital's cybersecurity solutions provide comprehensive protection, ensuring your data and systems remain secure. Our proactive approach includes regular security assessments, threat detection, and risk mitigation strategies. With industry-leading tools and expertise, we safeguard your business against evolving cyber threats. Plus, our training programs empower your staff to recognize and respond to potential security threats. Trust our experts to safeguard your business. Contact us today at unbounddigital.net or call 423-467-7777 for a free consultation.
Flyboys trail for the first time in this series, 4-1 as we begin the bottom of the third inning. And you've heard about the 999 challenge, where baseball fans age 21 or older try to eat 9 hot dogs and drink 9 beers in 9 innings. Well, Danville trying the 7-in-7 challenge, not involving alcohol, of course, but the Otterbots trying to use 7 pitchers in 7 innings today. So Andrew Evans gets the call out of the pen. Brandon Jung allowed a run in the first. Matt Spada worked around a 1-out single in the second. Evans will face 9-1-2 in the Flyboys order, trying to keep Danville ahead. They lead 4-1 in the home half of the third.
Now pitching for the Otterbots, number 35, Andrew Evans. Leading off for the Flyboys, number 25, James Patton.
So Patton, the shortstop, leading things off here in the home third. We've got Star Wars night and firework night all rolled into one. First pitch from Evans. This is low. Evans, a right-hander. Traditional overhand delivery, I would say. Evans out of Kansas State, playing in the second most notable Manhattan in the United States. The 1-0 to Patton, tapped back up the middle, past the mound. Charging is Altamura. The throw to first is in time. Evans tried to knock it down, probably better for his own sake that he let it go. Altamura positioned well. And Patton grounds out to start the bottom of inning number 3.
Micah Jordan.
Evans, one of the taller players on this Otterbots roster, standing at 6'6". And you can tell he is an imposing figure on the mound. Micah Jordan, the hitter, hits the first pitch hard in the left field, and Jordan is 2 for 2 today. A pair of singles in the first 3 innings, and once again now, got to be prepared for him to turn on the Jets. Peyton Miller, the third baseman, digging in for the second time, looking for things to go a little bit better than they did in his last trip when he struck out looking. Jordan stole both second and third base back in the first. We'll see how aggressive he is this time around with the Flyboys trailing by 3. But with 1 out, Jordan definitely looking to take away the possibility of a double play. Evans sets at the belt. First pitch to Miller, a slider that misses high and maybe a bit outside. Evans probably fortunate that Peyton Miller didn't swing at that one. It's not often you see an elevated breaking ball. Pickoff move over to first. Jordan dives back in safely. And we're only 2.5 innings into this game, but Jordan's jersey already very dirty. Big lead over there at first base. And another throw over. That's a good pickoff move from Evans, but Jordan in there just a tick ahead of the tag. Almost a bang-bang play over there at the first base back. Evans with the run game on the top of his mind. Another pickoff move, and again, Micah Jordan safe at first base. Evans is ready once again. 1-0 the count. Jordan starts and stops. The pitch is fouled off behind home plate. Jordan took a couple of steps towards second and then held up. Sometimes when you do that, you can fool the first baseman into thinking you're going. He'll call out, runner, runner, saying that the base runner is going, when in fact he's not. Trying to perhaps get the defense out of position. The 1-1, a fastball at the knees for strike 2 to Miller. Shakes his head a little bit as if to say, I didn't like that call. But unfortunately for him, his opinion will do little to dissuade that of the home plate umpire. Jordan off first. 1-2 the count on Miller. Another throw over. Jordan safe without a play this time. Middle infielders pinch toward the second base bag. Danville leading 4-1. We're in the bottom of the third. As another pickoff play over at first base. Again, Jordan beats the tag. 4-1 Danville. Jordan at first base with 1 out. Top of the order up for the Flyboys for the second time. The breeze that was blowing out to left has settled down. Jordan takes off. The 1-2 punched on the ground. A perfect hit and run. It's a fair ball down the line. Jordan will score all the way from first. Miller stops at second as the throw is cut off. That is as perfect of a hit and run as you will ever see at any level of baseball. Miller slaps that one the other way down the first base line. Right as the first baseman Chandler broke off and towards second. It went right past where Chandler was standing as he was holding the runner on, and with Jordan's speed, there was never a question as to whether or not he was going to score from first base. It's an RBI double off the bat of Peyton Miller. And the Flyboys inch closer. It's now 4-2. The batter, Tyler Inge. Miller off second base. And the pitch. Breaking ball misses high from Evans to the right-handed hitting Tyler Inge. Inge had an RBI ground out back in the first. Another man in scoring position for him here. The 1-0. High chopper to third. Goldberg has to wait for it to come down. He does, and the throw to first is low, but dug out by Chandler for the second out. Runner does not advance. Miller has to hold up at second.
Now, batting for the Flyboys, number 34.
Ezra McNaughton, the designated hitter, looking to keep the inning going. Run home, 2 away in the bottom of the third. McNaughton, a left-handed hitter, facing the righty Andrew Evans. First pitch, swung on and missed by McNaughton as Evans threw the fastball right by him. McNaughton crowding the plate in that lefty box. The righty fires. 0-1, low inside fastball right at the knees for strike 2. You think about the way lefties swing, usually the down and in pitch is one that they like to hammer. But with McNaughton crowding the plate, you've really got to be sitting on it to get your hands out in time. 0-2 the count. Evans deals. McNaughton hits this one in the air. A towering fly ball, deep right field. This ball game is tied. Ezra McNaughton with the first homer of the Flyboys season. A moonshot to straightaway right. It's 4-4 in the third. Talked about the low inside fastball that McNaughton watched go by on the previous pitch. That one he didn't miss. And you've really got to put a charge into it to hit it out at Pioneer Park. McNaughton did just that. And so the Flyboys respond to a 3-spot from the Otterbots in the top half of the inning with a 3-spot of their own. Lane Akers, the right-handed hitting left fielder, takes a fastball high for ball 1. That pitch was an 0-2 fastball with 2 outs in the inning. That's one Evans will probably be kicking himself for a little bit. He lands a changeup, and the count is 1-1 on Lane Akers. 2 strikes, 2 outs. But McNaughton says not so fast. The 1-1. Akers takes just low. Three runs home in the inning. The Flyboys have almost hit for the cycle as a team. 2-1 to Akers, misses low, ball 3. Jordan a single, Miller an RBI double, and then McNaughton a 2-run homer. He's now got 4 RBIs on the young season. 3-1 the count. Akers hits this one in the air to center, a soft liner. Hamilton coming on, makes a nice sliding catch. And the side is retired, but not before the Flyboys even things up. We're tied at 4 after 3 in game 1 of this 7-inning doubleheader on the Greenville Flyboys Baseball Network.
Adoption of teens from foster care is a topic not enough people know about, and we're here to change that. I'm April Dinwiddie, host of the new podcast, Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Each episode brings you compelling real-life adoption stories told by the families that live them with commentary from experts. Visit adoptuskids.org/podcast or subscribe to Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Administration for Children and Families and the Ad Council.
What I know about courage, I learned from my adoptive mom. She said sometimes you just gotta hold on and know we'll get through this. Mom, we are so high up. Hold my hand.
No, you hold my hand.
Here we go.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Protecting your business from cyber threats is more important than ever. Unbound Digital's cybersecurity solutions provide comprehensive protection, ensuring your data and systems remain secure. Our proactive approach includes regular security assessments, threat detection, and risk mitigation strategies. With industry-leading tools and expertise, we safeguard your business against evolving cyber threats. Plus, our training programs empower your staff to recognize and respond to potential security threats. Trust our experts to safeguard your business. Contact us today at unbounddigital.net or call 423-467-7777 for a free consultation.
Back here at Pioneer Park, the offensives have come to life. 4-4 as we enter the top of inning number 4. 6, 7, 8 in the Otterbots lineup due up to face Jace Smith. And on the first pitch of the inning, Eamon Chandler wraps one on the ground to second. Tyler Inge takes his time, shuffles his feet, makes a good throw to first. 4-3 on the ground out as the leadoff man is gone. Seen a lot of hitters swing at the first pitch of the inning on both sides. Coaches perhaps preaching some aggression early in counts when pitchers are often trying to just land a strike and get ahead. So with the leadoff man gone, Alexander Sifford digs in. Jace Smith out there for his first full inning of work. And Sifford swings and misses at a first pitch slider. Smith got out of a tough spot, first and third with one out. First and third with nobody out. And allowed just the one inherited runner to score. The 0-1, a fastball on the inside edge for strike two. 2 quick strikes on Sifford. But Smith, a pair of strikeouts to limit the Otterbots to just 3 runs when it looked like they had the potential for a huge inning. The 0-2, chopped on the ground, foul to the third base side. And in that last half inning for the Flyboys, Ezra McNaughton, the first homer of the season for Greenville. He's been fantastic. The Flyboys have scored 9 runs on the season. McNaughton, 4 of those runs batted in. Now the 0-2 from Smith. Breaking ball misses low. Dylan Jackson points his catcher's mitt as if to say, hey, I like that pitch. Trying to get the chase on an 0-2, but Sifford didn't bite. Smith quickly back set from the stretch. The 1-2 misses inside. Looked like Sifford might have tried to lean into it a little bit. He crowds the plate in that right-handed batter's box. Smith's set, and he comes back with a 2-2. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. Flyboys pitchers have struck out 5 Otterbots hitters today. 3 of those strikeouts have been looking. Jackson Goldberg, the last hope for the Otterbots in the top of the 4th. Jace Smith out of Grand Canyon University, making the long cross-country trip here to Greenville to play summer ball. Goldberg lines one up the middle, through into center field for a base hit. Smith tried to sneak in a first-pitch slider, but Goldberg waited just long enough to hit it right back where it came from. Jackson Goldberg with a pair of hits in 2 trips to the plate. Antonio Cordero takes his shin guards off. He'll hit with a man at first and 2 down. Smith has spent 3 seasons at Grand Canyon, but he did not play at all last season, 2024, missed it due to an injury. Goldberg leads off first, the batter Antonio Cordero. Smith kicks and fires. Cordero hits this one, a high chopper to second. Inge Fields shuffles his feet, and from the shallow outfield, he throws out Cordero to end the inning. Halfway home in game 1 of this 7-inning doubleheader, the Otterbots, a hit and a man left. We're all tied at 4, headed to the bottom of inning number 4 on the Greenville Flyboys Baseball Network.
Hey, wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind, like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest. Uh-oh. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. To learn your risk, take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I'm Chris Jakimick. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. Being a veteran, it's interwoven into your DNA, is really the absence of the connection and the purpose that can really drive a lot of veterans to some negative thoughts. For those who are in a suicidal crisis, the window of time to save somebody's life is very short. Our duty is to protect ourselves and protect our families, and one way you can do that is store your weapons safely. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
Back here at Pioneer Park, halfway home. In game 1 of this 7-inning doubleheader, we've had an action-packed first 3.5 innings. Otterbots making their 4th pitching change in as many times of asking. Clayton Cooksey, a right-hander, coming on out of the bullpen. A two-way player out of Bryant and Stratton Junior College in Virginia. Bryant and Stratton seemingly sending a lot of players here, I think. Not just for Danville, but for other teams as well. I don't have an exact number, but it feels like that name has popped up quite a bit. And for the Flyboys, due up in the home half of inning number 4, it's Reed Hare, Dylan Jackson, and A.J. Diaz. The top of the order doing the bulk of the damage for Greenville so far. The Flyboys' top 4 hitters have four of the team's 5 hits, I should say, and have scored all 4 of their runs, in addition to having all 4 runs batted in. We'll see if the bottom part of the lineup can do some damage to start this 4th inning and maybe bring the top of the order back up for the 2nd time in as many innings. Reed Hare, the lefty, digs in. Cooksey, another right-hander on the mound for Danville, as they are set for 7 pitchers in 7 innings. Your typical bullpen game. Cooksey nearly hits Hare in the head with a fastball. The count is 1-0. I don't know, as a pitcher, I mean, pitching is a very mental thing. If I almost drilled a guy in the head and then somebody over the PA played a holy cow sound effect, that'd be kind of tough. 2-0 fastball misses in the right-handed batter's box. Hare quickly in control, 2-0. Cooksey, a low arm slot, kind of a funky delivery from the right side. Swing and a miss by Hare, and the count is 2-1. He almost cocks his elbow back, well behind his body, before he delivers to home plate. Working exclusively from the stretch, the 2-1. Hare takes just outside. Fastball off the edge, and the count 3-1 now on the Flyboys center fielder. Cooksey fires, and it's a 5-pitch leadoff walk to Reed Hare. He reaches for the 2nd time in as many trips to the plate. So Dylan Jackson, the catcher out of Long Beach State, the next to hit. And it's fun because all the players bring their gear from the colleges that they play at when they play summer ball. So you sort of start being able to keep track of who plays where just by the colors on their protective gear. In the case of Jackson, he's got a black and yellow accented shin guard and a yellow sliding mitt as well. Hare leads off of first base, a healthy lead. Cooksey deals. Jackson takes a first pitch strike. Home plate is now in the shadows. The mound is still in the sun, as is all of fair territory, save for the first base line. From the plate to about halfway between the infield dirt and the outfield corner. The 0-1, well outside from Cooksey. I think he tried the slider that time. 1-1 the count on Jackson. Spent his collegiate career out west. Throw over to first, and safe is Reed Hare as the ball lands at the foot of Eamon Chandler, the first baseman. Jackson began his career at Cal Poly Pomona, then transferred to the junior college ranks at Ventura College, now at Long Beach State. Played in just 8 games last year with the Dirtbags. 1-1, popped straight up and behind home plate, out of play. Jackson flew out to right field his first time up. Khalil Pratt Just one chance for him so far. He's been busy, though. Done a lot of running. Tripled back in the second. Scored the Autobots' first run. We're tied at 4 in the bottom of inning number 4. Reed Hare aboard at first base. Nobody out. Flyboys and Autobots trying to squeeze in a doubleheader before some more rain is set to hit tonight. 1-2 on the way to Jackson. Misses high, ball 2. Cooksey tried the elevated fastball. Jackson didn't bite. Right-handers throwing in both teams' bullpens. And runner goes. The 2-2 hit hard the other way. That ball is down in front of Jackson, or in front of Pratt, I should say, for a base hit. Jackson is aboard. Runners at first and second to begin the home fourth. A.J. Diaz digs in, first and second, nobody out. We were talking about how the top of the order had done all the damage so far for Greenville. Now the bottom 4 hitters saying, hey, it's our turn. Diaz hitless on the young season so far. Flew out to center back in the first, but if he can get one into the gap, both runners may have a chance to score. Cooksey sets. Diaz takes inside for ball 1. The third baseman, Jackson Goldberg, playing even with the infield grass. 1-0 the count. An inside move. The runner caught off of second base, but diving back in safely. If Altamura, the second baseman, had been holding closer to the bag, they may have had a chance to pick off Reed Hare. The moment Cooksey lifted his leg, Hare was taking his secondary lead and then realized he had to get back to the base. Cooksey's ready. Now the 1-0. Diaz takes just inside. Cooksey missing the mark, and the count 2-0. You don't want to fall behind 2-0 with runners on first and second and nobody out. If you're Diaz, you're sitting on a pitch in one particular spot. Now the 2-0. Diaz hits it foul over the first base dugout. Waiting on deck, the shortstop, Jace Patton. As Cooksey comes set, looks at second base, and the 2-1. Missing high for ball 3. And it's dangerous because the walk loads the bases, but it also brings Micah Jordan into the on-deck circle, where you face Jace Patton, and assuming a triple play does not occur, Jordan would get a chance to hit if Diaz reaches. The 3-1. Runners take off. It's ball 4 anyway, and the bases are loaded with nobody out for Jace Patton. So Cooksey comes out of the bullpen, goes walk, single, walk. Now we'll have a conference between Cooksey, the catcher Antonio Cordero, and the corner infielders. Bases loaded, nobody out for the number 9 hitter, Patton. Micah Jordan waiting on deck again. Unless there's a triple play, he gets a chance to hit. 2 for 2 with a pair of singles and a pair of runs scored already for Micah Jordan. Mound meeting breaks up, and this is a big moment in this game for both sides. We're tied at 4 in the bottom of inning number 4. Flyboys looking to retake the lead after a 3 spot saw them tie the game in the bottom of the 3rd. Bases juiced, nobody out. Right-hander on right-hander. Cooksey set up on the first base side of the rubber, desperately needing a strikeout. Patton hits the first pitch in the air to center field. This will score the run from third base. The catch is made by Hamilton. Both runners tag up. Runner scoring from third is Reed Hare. Dylan Jackson dives into third base ahead of the throw, and the Flyboys take a 5-4 lead. It's a sacrifice fly off the bat of Jace Patton. A.J. Diaz staying at first base on the sac fly, but Jace Patton doing a good job getting the ball in the air deep enough into the outfield for the run to score without a play. So Micah Jordan digging in. Runners on the corners, one out. It's a tough turn to get Jordan to hit into a double play with his speed going down the line. Cooksey from the stretch. Jordan takes high and inside, ball one. Flyboys donning their specialty Star Wars themed jerseys and their home white pants. Now the 1-0 to Jordan. Inside, it hits him on the shoulder, and the bases are loaded once again. It's been a troublesome inning for the Otterbots right-hander Clayton Cooksey. Otterbots pitching coach Steve Gomez, at least I think it's Steve Gomez, out at the top step of the dugout, but not coming out. So Peyton Miller hits, and if you think back to the last inning, he had an RBI double that scored Jordan all the way from first base. Infield comes in, bases loaded, one out. Flyboys ahead 5-4, looking to add some more runs. First pitch from Cooksey hits Miller, and that forces in another run. Back-to-back hit by pitches. One to load the bases, that one to score the runner from third. And Miller earns 90 feet the hard way. Now it's time for a conference on the mound. I don't know if this is a pitching change. Again, there is a right-hander throwing down in the Otterbots bullpen, but he's not coming toward the gate. So this is just a meeting trying to calm down Cooksey. In this inning, walk, single, walk, sacrifice fly, and then back-to-back hit by pitches. Flyboys leading 6-4 in the bottom of the fourth. Bases loaded for the heart of the order, something that no pitcher wants to hear. Tyler Ainge batting third, a pair of groundouts and an RBI to his credit so far, but a chance to extend this Flyboys lead beyond the 2 runs where it currently stands. First baseman Chandler on the infield grass, the third baseman Goldberg even with the bag. First pitch to Ainge, high and tight. And I suspect if you're Tyler Ainge, after back-to-back hit by pitches, both to right-handed batters, Ainge, another right-handed batter, waiting until he gets at least 1 strike, maybe even 2, unless it's right where he wants it. 1-0. Ainge takes a fastball high. So the last 4 pitches for Cooksey, a pair of hit by pitches and a pair of balls to Tyler Ainge. 2-0 the count to the Michigan infielder, playing in his 2nd season with the Flyboys. Now the pitch. Up and in, ball 3. And now if you're the Otterbots, it's a question of how much longer do you want this to go on. Sometimes a pitcher just doesn't have it, and it looks like that might be the case for Cooksey here this afternoon. 3-0, desperately needing a strike. He finds one on a fastball. But Ainge still very much in control, with the count 3-1 in his favor. A base hit could break this one wide open. 3-1, high and outside, ball 4. And another run will trot home. Everybody moving 90 feet. The carousel continues on. And Ezra McNaughton, who homered to straightaway right field just an inning ago, is the 8th man to hit here in this 4th inning for the Flyboys. 3 runs already home, bases loaded with 1 away as the Flyboys lead this one 7-4. Right-hander Cooksey facing the lefty McNaughton. The pitch. Fastball up and away, ball 1. So 5 straight balls plus hit by pitches. A pair of those coming on consecutive offerings. Actually, Cooksey did land 1 strike to Tyler Ainge, and here he lands one to McNaughton on the low outside corner. The count 1-1. McNaughton crowding the plate in that left-handed batter's box. The 1-1. Down and a little bit outside for ball 2. Jordan at third base. Miller at second. Tyler Inge over at first. The cleanup man, McNaughton, looking to put up a crooked number in the home fourth. The 2-1. Swung on and driven to deep right field near the corner. This one's off the wall. The wave around is on for everybody. McNaughton slides into second. A pair of runs score. Ezra McNaughton is having himself a day. 4 ribbies in the last 2 innings. And the Flyboys now lead the Otterbots 9-4 here in the home half of the 4th inning.
Now, batting for the Flyboys, number 20, Lane Akers.
Lane Akers digs in, the 9th man to the plate in the inning for the Flyboys. Runners on second and third, still only 1 out. Infielders at normal depth except for the third baseman. Akers up the middle, it hits Cooksey in the leg. He gathers, throws to first in time. Run scores on the RBI ground out, and it's now 10-4 Greenville. Moving to third on the play is Ezra McNaughton. So 1-3 and an RBI, and the Flyboys have batted around, but now there are 2 away. As Reed Hare, who led off this inning with a walk, hits for the second time. Looks like Cooksey's okay. That comebacker hit him, I think, about mid-thigh, but he's all right. Although not the outing he was looking for. Hare takes outside. In this inning, I mean, the Flyboys have, even their outs have been productive. RBIs on both a sac fly and a ground out. Every other man has reached. Hare takes outside and the count 2-0. (10-4) Flyboys here in the home fourth. Hare takes a strike on a fastball, and the count is 2-1. The Otterbots took a 4-1 lead in the top of inning number 3. And since then, the Flyboys have scored 9 unanswered runs. The 2-1. Hare hits it foul over the third base dugout. Cooksey looking to get out of the inning. The 2-2. Hare chases in the dirt. That is out number 3. And he'll walk back to the dugout, but the Flyboys put up a crooked number. And after 4 full in this 7-inning doubleheader, the Flyboys lead game 1, 10-4 in the Greenville Flyboys Baseball Network.
This message is for Karina, our mom who finished her high school diploma at age 28. Hi, Mom. It's Emmettith and Nicholas. Congratulations on getting your diploma. You worked so hard and have taught us so much. We love you.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
I'm Scarlett Johansson. My family relied on public assistance to help provide meals for us. These meals fueled my involvement in theater and the arts as a child, which fostered my love for acting. The Feeding America network of food banks helps millions of people put food on the table. You can join the movement to end hunger by donating, volunteering, and advocating. Because when people are fed, futures are nourished. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
What is dedication?
The thing that drives me every day as a dad is Dariana. We call him Day-Day for short. Every day he's hungry for something, whether it's attention, affection, knowledge. And there's this huge responsibility in making sure that when he's no longer under my wing, that he's a good person. I want him to be able to sit back one day and go, we worked together, we did a good job.
That's dedication. Find out more at fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Sometimes as dads, I think we're too hard on ourselves. We get down on ourselves on not being able to, we're the providers, but we also have to learn to take care of ourselves. Arapaho way, you got to pray for yourself as well as for everybody else, but never forget yourself. Self-love made me a better dad because I realized my worth.
Never stop being a dad. That's dedication. Find out more at fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
You won. A crooked number for the Flyboys has them out to a 10-4 lead as we begin the top of inning number 5. New pitcher on the hill for Greenville, the right-hander J.D. Hay. The third Flyboys pitcher used in this game. Hay, a righty out of Tallahassee State Junior College. His redshirt freshman year saw a lot of action, 12 appearances, 40 and a third innings pitched. Christian Hamilton lays down a bunt. It's a good one right back to the mound. Hayes throw to first. Got him by a step. Nice play. Hamilton's got great speed. He tried to steal 2 bases on opening night, was caught both times. And this time trying to bunt for a hit to start this Danville 5th. He's thrown out. Good defensive play by J.D. Hay. Scored 1-3 on the ground out. Altamira, the second baseman, digs in for the third time and watches a fastball miss outside. The wind and the pitch. High from J.D. Hay. Flyboys sent 10 to the plate in the bottom of the 4th. 6 of them scored. They left just 1 runner on base in that inning as well. 2-1 as Hay finds the outside half for a strike. The book is closed on Jace Smith. First Flyboys reliever used today. The 2-1. A check swing. He went around for strike 2. Altamira frustrated. He couldn't keep his hands back. Smith, an inning and 2/3 scoreless, allowing 1 hit, walking none, and striking out 3. A solid relief outing for him. The 2-2 from Hay. A slider right on the outside black. Strike 3 call. A tough pitch for Zach Altamira. That ball darted towards the low outside corner, and Altamira sent packing. Garrett Shull the next to hit. A lot has changed since the last time he stepped in the box. He hit a 2-run triple to put the Otterbots up by 3. And then the Flyboys responded by scoring 9 unanswered runs. Here, Shull takes low and in for ball 1.
Now pitching for the Flyboys, number 26,
And now the 1-0. Shull swings and fouls one straight back at home plate. One the count on Shull. Now the pitch. Slow breaking ball in there for a strike. And another correction. It is not J.D. Hay on the mound. It's actually Tate Riggs. One of them wears 28. The other wears 26. Hard to differentiate between the two. 1-2 missing low and in. It gets away from the catcher Jackson, but no harm, no foul as the bases are empty. So it's Tate Riggs on the mound for Greenville. He wears 26, and J.D. Hay wears number 28. As another pitch fouled off to the right side, the count stays at 2-2. And it's hard to read those numbers because you've got the white numerals, and then there's a lot of white around the numbers as well. So 6s and 8s look very similar. So Tate Riggs on the mound for the Flyboys here in the 5th. He's retired the first 2 men he's faced, and the 2-2 to Shull. Breaking ball, Shull just gets a piece and fouls it off. Well out in front of the slow curveball that time. Shull in a good battle here with Riggs. The righty winds and deals. Shull takes inside, ball 3. Some of the Flyboys infielders thought that was strike 3, but Shull, a very patient hitter, a pair of walks a couple nights ago on opening night, has worked the count full. Now the payoff pitch. High and outside, ball 4. It's a very good at-bat by Garrett Shull. Was in a 2-strike count for a while, but battled and reaches base, giving Khalil Pratt another chance to hit. Kick-started the Otterbots offense with a triple in the second inning. Plenty of extra base hits to go around today. The Otterbots with 2 triples. One from Shull, who's now at first base, and one from Pratt, who's in the box. First pitch. The lefty takes a backdoor curveball for a strike. A tough pitch on 0-0 from Tate Riggs, considering Pratt has probably never faced Riggs before. Riggs is set. A look at first, and now the 0-1. Fouled off to the third base side. Looked like Pratt got jammed a little bit on that one. To the count on Khalil Pratt. 10-4 Flyboys here in the top of the 5th. A throw over to first base. Shull dives back in safely. Due up for the Flyboys in the home 5th will be 7-8-9. They began the inning before with 6-7-8. They sent 10 to the plate in that 4th inning. Now the 0-2 to Khalil Pratt. Inside, and I think it hit him. It hit him on the leg. It bounced before it hit him. But a couple 2-out base runners in that one. An 0-2 hit by pitch to the cleanup man. Pratt is aboard for the second time in 3 trips. And Dylan Jackson taking a moment to talk to Tate Riggs on the mound, just kind of calm him down, I think. Probably telling him something to the tune of, hey, you still got a healthy lead here. So just settle back in, let's get this next guy. And that next guy is Mason Pangborn, the shortstop, who is 0 for 2 today. Struck out looking to end the 3rd, but looking to keep this inning going and give the Otterbots a chance to get back within striking distance as they trail by 6 here in the top of inning number 5. First and second for Pangborn. Riggs comes home, and Pangborn takes a fastball at the top of the zone for strike 1. Pangborn out of Austin P had just 8 at-bats in 5 games played this past year. The 0-1 to him. Wrapped on the ground to the right side. That is through. Past a diving Ainge for a base hit. The throw coming in is cut off, and the run scoring from second. It's an RBI single off the bat of Mason Pangborn. The Otterbots get one back. It's now 10-5 here in the top of the 5th. That ball not hit all that hard, but sometimes the best thing you can do is hit it where they ain't. And Ainge, try as he might, could not stop that one diving to his left. So 3 straight 2-out base runners, a run home. And the batter, Eamon Chandler, another lefty in the middle of this Danville lineup. Riggs kicks and deals. Chandler takes a backdoor slider for a strike. You think about the at-bat from Garrett Shull with 2 outs that started this rally. It was a 2-2 count. He fouled off some close pitches, worked it back full, and then ultimately worked the walk. Another backdoor slider and another strike to Eamon Chandler. And then the 2-strike hit by pitch to Khalil Pratt. He's now at second base, also extending the inning. Pangborn punching one through the right side for a base hit. Riggs can get out of it on this next pitch. Shortstop breaks towards second, but he comes home, and the pitch hit in the air well, deep left field near the corner. Akers, a long run. It's off the wall on the fly. Both runs will score. The throw comes into second, and it's late. Now the throw to the plate. He's safe, getting in just ahead of the tag. That play was closer than I thought it would be. But Pangborn was hustling and scored all the way from first. A headlong dive saw him in just ahead of the tag. And it's a 2 RBI double off the bat of Eamon Chandler. And I don't think you can challenge in collegiate summer ball. But credit to Akers hustling to the corner to get that ball back in. That play was a bang-bang play at the plate as Pangborn dove in just ahead of the tag from Dylan Jackson. Otterbots have cut it back to 3. It's now 10-7. Alexander Sifford hitting for the 3rd time. First pitch to the righty. That ball's hit hard up the middle, past the shortstop Patton into center field. Chandler rounding third. The throw comes into second base, and the Otterbots are hanging with the Flyboys. They've scored 4 in the inning, and it's now 10-8. Would not be surprised to see Flyboys pitching coach Jared Morton come out of the dugout here. 5 straight 2-out base runners for the Otterbots, but everything's quiet in the Flyboys dugout for now. There is a right-hander up and throwing in the bullpen. Goldberg, the 8th man to hit in the inning. Sifford on at first after the RBI single. A swing and a miss at a slider from Tate Riggs, and the count 0-1 on Goldberg. Hitting for the 3rd time in 3 innings. He's 2 for 2 with a run scored in the ballgame so far. Plenty of crooked numbers on the scoreboard from both sides here in this one. Riggs comes home. An 0-1 slider misses high and maybe a bit outside. Goldberg, not all that tall in the batter's box for Danville. Standing at 6 foot even. 1-1 the count. Riggs comes home. Goldberg takes outside. It gets away from Jackson, and that's a free 90 feet for Alexander Sifford. Jackson went to his backhand to try to stop that one, and it just kind of got away from him, bouncing off the heel of his glove and taking a high hop to the backstop. So the force play at second is gone. Still 2 away, a 2-1 count on Goldberg. Riggs searching for that elusive 3rd out. He retired the first 2 men in the inning in order, but the last 5 have reached consecutively. The 2-1, nice fastball on the outside edge, about knee-high. And I don't have the exact number in front of me, but a lot of these base runners have reached with 2 strikes. The double from Chandler, the hit by pitch, the walk to Shull, that's at least 3, all with 2 outs and 2 strikes in the inning. Riggs is ready. Now the 2-2 to Goldberg. Swung on and missed. He got him on the slider. The Otterbots inch much closer. They score 4 times in the inning, leave a man at second base. And we will go to the home half of inning number 5. 10-8 Flyboys over the Otterbots on the Greenville Flyboys Baseball Network.
Wanted to be cool, which led you to smoking, which led to a pack a day. Then you met that special someone, which led to starting a life with them, which led to wanting to live longer, which led to quitting. Then you heard you may be at risk for lung cancer, which led you to getting a low-dose CT scan. If you smoked, get scanned. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Here's the deal. We gotta set ourselves up. See, retirement is the long game. We gotta make moves and make them early. Set up goals. Don't worry about a setback. Just save up and stack up to reach them. Let's put ourselves in the right position. Pre-game to greater things.
Start building your retirement plan at thisispretirement.org. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Retirement can be scary, but only if you're not prepared. That's why AARP created thisispretirement.org. Because unless you've already retired, you're in pretirement, and you still have time to plan. Learn about retirement savings options, potential tax breaks, and how you can build savings over time. Visit thisispretirement.org for free resources to help you customize your action plan and feel the retirement fear disappear. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
For the Flyboys, number 15, Dylan Jackson.
It's been an action-packed game so far here at Pioneer Park. Flyboys leading the Danville Otterbots 10-8. Entering the bottom of the 5th, Dylan Jackson leads things off, facing the new right-hander in the game, Brandon Stevens, on the hill for Danville. First pitch to Jackson, a breaking ball in the dirt. Stevens, the 5th pitcher used by Danville in 5 innings today. It's a bullpen game for them. So if the Flyboys surrender the lead, we would see 7 pitchers in 7 innings from the Otterbots. 1-0 to Jackson, hit in the air. A high fly ball, deep left field. Garrett Shull at the warning track makes the catch. Jackson just missing the 2nd homer of the game for Greenville.
Now, batting for the Flyboys, number 5, A.J. Diaz.
So A.J. Diaz, the next to hit after the leadoff man is retired by Stevens. Stevens, a right-hander out of Coppin State, a native of Georgia. Lanky, 6'3", 188. His birthday is coming up in just 12 days, born on June 19th. Pitch to Diaz, a low strike at the knees from Stevens. It's been a fun game so far. 18 combined runs, not as many hits, but we're approaching, well, I'd say we're already in chaos territory as the breaking ball misses in the dirt. There's a game on opening night elsewhere around the Appy League, and I don't remember exactly where, so we're going to take a look. It was Kingsport and Pulaski that played to an 11-10 final ledger, Pulaski winning on a tiebreaker. 1-1 Diaz, misses outside. That was the highest scoring game on opening night. We've got a couple high scoring games over the last couple of days. Bluefield beating Burlington last night 9-7. 2-1 to Diaz. Hit hard but foul down the first base line. Kingsport winning 15-6 over Pulaski. And then today, well, we've got the highest scoring game so far. Elsewhere around the Appy League, Elizabethton out to an 8-3 lead over Tri-State in the top of the 7th. Bristol trailing Johnson City 5-1 in the bottom of the 4th. The 2-2 to Diaz. Fastball misses outside and the count is run full. And we'll have game 2 of this doubleheader starting 30 minutes after the conclusion of game 1. Full count pitch to Diaz, misses low, and it's a 1-out walk. Diaz's 2nd walk in as many innings. So now the number 9 hitter, Jace Patton, had a sacrifice fly in that action-packed 4th inning where the Flyboys sent 10 to the plate.
Jace Patton.
Some towering clouds creeping over the outfield in right. And IU Atmospheric Sciences professor Cody Kirkpatrick would be disappointed that I can't name what kind of cloud that is. Hot shot to second, fielded not cleanly at all by Altamura. He doesn't have a play anywhere. That ball was stung right back up the middle. Altamura tried to knock it down, but could not corral it. Could not even shovel it to the second base bag, where he was about 5 feet away from retiring A.J. Diaz.
Number 3, Micah Jordan.
Now Micah Jordan hitting with 2 on and 1 away. As the Flyboys look to extend this 2-run lead, I suspect that'll be scored an infield hit, because that ball was hit on the screws to second base. Altamura would have had a force play at second if he could have fielded it cleanly. His momentum was taking him toward the bag, and he was very close to it. But unfortunately, he could not field it in a timely manner. Micah Jordan's reached all 3 times, a pair of singles and a hit by pitch. First pitch from Stevens. Jordan takes a breaking ball well outside. Jordan's also come around to score all 3 times. Flyboys leading 10-8 here in the bottom of inning number 5. Looking to respond after the Otterbots put up a 4 spot in the top of this inning. Stevens an open set on the first base side of the rubber. From the letters, he deals the 1-0. Jordan takes a slider in the dirt and the count 2-0. With 1 away, you'd think you're a pitch away from getting out of the inning if you're Stevens, but again, Jordan, very good speed going down the first base line, even from the right-handed batter's box. It's tough to get him on the tail end of a double play. The 2-0 in the dirt gets away from Cordero, but the runners retreat. The count 3-0. And if you're Stevens, you don't want to run into trouble here loading the bases for the middle of this Flyboys lineup. which has done all kinds of damage today. Stevens needing a strike on 3-0. The pitch to Jordan. Low and away, ball 4. So Jordan's reached all 4 times. The bases are loaded, 1 out. Flyboys ahead by 2, looking to add some more. The batter, Peyton Miller. 2 RBIs, a pair of runs scored, and a double for Miller so far today. But his last RBI, he had to earn it. He was hit by a pitch. Don't know how many times in his career he's hit with the bases loaded in back-to-back innings, but he does so here. Corner infielders in, middle infielders looking for the double play. First pitch to Miller, another breaking ball, well outside from Stevens. And again, Stevens still a pitch away from getting out of this inning, if he can roll up a double play. 1-0 the count on the Gonzaga infielder. Miller playing third base today. And the pitch. Fastball misses low. It's 2-0. 6 straight balls from Brandon Stevens. Stevens out of Coppin State. He's pitched 39 1/3 innings there over the last 2 years. As we said before, walks have been a problem. 15 walks per 9 innings. 2-0. Fastball on the outside edge for a strike. A whip of 2.7, which means oftentimes he's working with a lot of traffic on the base paths, and that's the case here. Bases loaded, 1 away. 2-1 count on Peyton Miller. The pitch from Stevens. Fastball bounces to the plate, ball 3. And if you're Miller, you're thinking, yes, it's a hitter's count here, but also after the walk to Micah Jordan that loaded the bases, don't even know if you're thinking about swinging on 3-1 unless it's right where you're looking. 1 pitch in 1 spot. Stevens the kick and the 3-1. Miller pops it up foul, first base side, fading, and it's out of play. So the count runs full on Miller, 1 away, nowhere to put him. Something's got to give here. 10-8 Greenville, bottom 5, looking to add some more. Runners on every base, and the 3 and 4 hitters waiting in the wings if Miller can avoid the double play. Stevens sets at the letters, and the payoff. Outside, ball 4. Seen a lot of walks, a lot of hit by pitches with the bases loaded. Surrendered by Otterbot's pitchers. And again, this is a pitching staff that led the league, had the lowest ERA of any pitching staff in the Appy League a season ago. But it's proven tough sledding for them this afternoon. Diaz scores on the bases loaded walk. Patton advancing to third, Jordan to second, and Miller picks up his 3rd RBI of the afternoon. 1 on a walk, 1 on a hit by pitch, and then double back in the 3rd inning as well. Tyler Ainge is the next to hit. There's some players moving around in the Danville bullpen, but Stevens will stay in the game. And so far in this inning, Dylan Jackson flew out to deep left field to start the frame, and then a walk, a single, and 2 more walks.
Batting for the Flyboys, number 11, Tyler
Ainge batting in the 3-hole. 0 for 2, but he's got a pair of RBIs and a run scored. So he still found ways to be productive, despite still looking for his first hit. Corner infielders still in. Middle infielders set up for a double play, which would end the inning. Stevens kicks and deals. Ainge takes a fastball high. That ball maybe about 6 inches above the top of the strike zone. Stevens taking a deep breath. Now the 1-0 to Ainge. Low and away. And it's one thing if a pitcher is missing and the pitches are close, but maybe just borderline. But a lot of these pitches have not really even induced thoughts of swinging from the Flyboys hitters. 2-0 on Ainge, the pitch. Swung on and missed. That ball, a fastball middle away. Ainge took a healthy hack at it, but came up empty. So now the count 2-1 on the Flyboys second baseman, the son of Brandon Ainge, a longtime major leaguer, who I think was here yesterday at Pioneer Park, but we didn't play, so he probably left feeling a little disappointed. The 2-1. Fastball right on the outside corner. Ainge doesn't like it, but the count's 2-2. Home plate umpire Cade Williamson maybe expanding the zone just a little bit right there. Stevens looking for a big strikeout. And the 2-2. Breaking ball over the head of Ainge, and the count is full. That curveball just popped out of his hand way too early. 11-8 Flyboys. We're in the bottom of the fifth. Bases loaded, one away. Tyler Ainge out of Michigan at the plate. Bases loaded, one out. Full count once again. The second full count with the bases loaded for Brandon Stevens. The payoff pitch. Ainge takes, low and outside, ball 4. 12-8, the Flyboys extend their lead to 4. As Patton trots across home plate.
Now, batting for the Flyboys, number 34.
Second straight inning that Tyler Ainge has worked a bases-loaded walk, and it sets the stage for Ezra McNaughton, who hit a 2-run homer back in the fourth inning, or back in the third inning, I should say, and then followed that up with a 2-run double in the fourth. Has a chance to do some damage once again. The lefty waits. Stevens fires. McNaughton takes a breaking ball high. Runners at every base. Jordan at third, Miller at second, Ainge at first. The 1-0 to McNaughton. Another breaking ball that pops out of the hand of Stevens, and the count is 2-0. And it's tough when you don't have command of your fastball, because then the hitters really don't even have to worry about that breaking ball. Stevens not establishing the fastball, so he can't work the breaking pitches off of it. Another 2-ball count. The pitch to McNaughton. Fastball on the inside edge for a strike. And usually when a pitcher struggles with command like this, sometimes it's just a little mechanical adjustment is all that's needed. Oftentimes maybe the front side flying open, which means the pitcher's not working downhill, instead working a little bit too much side to side. The 2-1. McNaughton takes a fastball on the outside edge, strike 2. And it's hard to see without the strike zone box, but that pitch looked borderline. Stevens has worked from 2-0 back to 2-2. Looking for a big strikeout here. With the bases loaded and one away. The 2-2 to McNaughton. He swings and misses at a high and tight slider. That's a swing to forget. Would have been ball 3. Instead, it's strike 3. And that's a pivotal second out for Brandon Stevens. That one where McNaughton might have been thinking grand slam from the moment the pitch left Stevens' hand, but that pitch was never a strike. It started up, ended up inside. So it's up to Lane Akers, the 8th man to the plate in the inning for the Flyboys. They've sent 18 batters to the plate in the last 2 innings. Stevens sets. First pitch. Akers takes a breaking ball inside. Leaned out of the way of that one. Infield is back with 2 outs. Bases loaded, 2 runs home in the inning. Flyboys lead 12-8. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Stevens sets. And the 1-0. Akers takes a high slider. That ball just a touch too high. And another 2-ball count. If that ball was a little bit lower, I think Lane Akers would have had thoughts of putting it over the left field wall for a grand slam. Stevens sets. And the 2-0. Akers takes outside, ball 3. Flyboys leading by 4. Akers with a big swing could add even more to that advantage. Now the 3-0. A fastball low that forces in another run.
Everybody clap your hands.
5 walks in the inning for Brandon Stevens. Started with the fly out from Dylan Jackson, who now stands on deck as Reed Hare hits. The Flyboys batting around for the second consecutive frame. They've scored 9 of their 13 runs in the last 2 innings. They lead the Otterbots by 5 here in the bottom of the 5th. And if you're the Otterbots, you've scored 7 runs in the last 3 innings, and you're still trailing by 5. Flyboys scoring 12 runs over that stretch. And it's tough as an offense when every time you answer, the opponent comes back even stronger. But that's been the case so far for Danville as they trail Greenville 13-8. 2 away, bases loaded for Reed Hare. And the pitch from Stevens, hit into the gap in left center field. That is all kinds of trouble. 1 run scores, 2 runs score. This will clear the bases. No, it will not. A late stop sign put up by the third base coach. I wanted them to send him, but stopping at third base is Lane Akers. It's a 2-run double off the bat of Reed Hare. Thought maybe Akers was going to try to score from first with 2 outs, but he thought better of it. A 2-run double off the bat of Reed Hare, and hitting for the second time this inning is Dylan Jackson. He led off this inning with a fly out to left. I'm sure he probably didn't think he was going to come back up and hit again. And at second and third for him here. 5 runs home in the inning. The Flyboys lead 15-8. First pitch from Stevens. Jackson takes high. This is the kind of inning as a pitcher where you're up around 40, maybe 50 pitches, and you just want it to be over. You just want it to end if you're Stevens. Now the 1-0 to Jackson. Big swing and a miss at a fastball. A healthy swing from the Long Beach State catcher. Behind the plate for the Flyboys here this afternoon. Game 1 of a 7-inning doubleheader between the Flyboys and the Otterbots on opening weekend. 1-1, this is inside. And if you're scoring this game at home, it's gotten quite busy on the scorecard, to say the least. Flyboys finishing up their 4th trip through the order, and we're only in the 5th. They've scored 15 runs on far less than 15 hits. The 2-1, low. Cordero came up out of his crouch after picking that one out of the dirt. (3-1) the count to Jackson. First base is open, but a lot of walks in this inning for Stevens. 5 free passes issued by the Otterbots right-hander, looking to avoid walk number 6. Stevens sets, and the 3-1. Jackson pops it up on the infield. This is playable. Chandler, the first baseman, calling everybody off, makes the catch, and the side is finally retired, but not before the Flyboys send another 10 to the plate. 5 of them score this time around. After 5, it's 15-8 Greenville over the Otterbots on the Flyboys Baseball Network.
There's danger out there. It lurks on highways and quiet neighborhood streets. It's more likely to kill you than a shark, and more terrifying than the biggest snake. Distracted driving claims lives every day. Every notification, swipe, social post, video, or selfie while driving risks your life. So while you might think public speaking or the zombie apocalypse is scary, what's really terrifying and even deadly is distracted driving. Eyes forward, don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Put your phone on D&D, that means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always sing with me. So put your phone on D&D, that means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always remember this beat.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
I'm a pretty great multitasker. I can wash dishes and do laundry. I can roller skate while walking my dog. I can even order lunch while doing my homework. But I can't use my phone while driving. A distracted driver is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. So when it comes to driving, please, don't be a multitasker.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Snakes, zombies, sharks, heights, speaking in public. The list of fears is endless. But while you're clutching your blanket in the dark, wondering if that sound in the hall was actually a footstep, the real danger is in your hand, when you're behind the wheel. And while you might think a great white shark is scary, what's really terrifying and even deadly is distracted driving. Eyes forward, don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Back here at Pioneer Park, the Flyboys have put up 11 runs in the last 2 innings. And the book closed on Tate Riggs, working just 1 inning. As the new pitcher on the mound for the Flyboys is J.D. Hay. Antonio Cordero leads things off as he takes ball 1 outside. It'll be 9-1-2 due up for Danville in the top of the 6th. Their offense has been good today. You'd think 8 runs in 5 innings is pretty good. The problem is when your opponent scores 15, it's a little bit less impactful. Hay comes home with the 1-0. It's chopped to the left side. Deep short, played there by Patton. An acrobatic throw, not in time, as he's sprawled out on his back in shallow left field. A valiant effort. But it's an infield single to start the top of the 6th for Antonio Cordero.
Number 24, Christian Hamilton.
Tate Riggs, 4 runs on 3 hits, 1 walk and a strikeout in 1 inning pitched. Top of the order, Christian Hamilton digs in from the left side. J.D. Hay kicks and deals. First pitch fastball misses outside. Hamilton 1 for 3 today, a single he hit back in the 3rd inning. Floodlights turned on here at Pioneer Park. The entire field in the clouds. Hay deals. Hamilton checks his swing. It's a strike anyway. Motions to his dugout as if to say that was a changeup. A circle change, I think, if you were looking at his grip. Runner off first, probably not thinking about stealing with his team down by 7. Hamilton swings and misses at the 1-1. Hamilton out of Georgetown. Played in just 18 games in his first season with the Hoyas. Big East baseball is an interesting experience. Hayes set, and the 1-2. Hamilton up and in. He has to dance out of the way. Count 2-2. Xavier out of the Big East in Cincinnati, Ohio, a team that comes down here to this part of the country and plays a lot of SEC teams. I don't know whether or not they played Tennessee this year. I know they played Kentucky and LSU. 2-2, runner takes off. The pitch outside, throw down to second is offline, off the glove of the shortstop into left center field. A stolen base for the catcher, Antonio Cordero. I think the Flyboys are okay with that, considering they're leading by 7, needing 6 outs to wrap up game 1 of this 7-inning doubleheader. All doubleheaders in the Appy League are 7 innings. Time called at home plate by Hamilton before the 3-2 pitch. If you're just joining us, Greenville struck first in the bottom of inning number 1. Otterbots took a 4-1 lead in the 3rd, but Greenville has outscored them 14-4 since then, bringing us to a 15-8 scoreline. Payoff to Hamilton, a desperation swing, and he fouls it off behind home plate. Doing a good job of protecting the plate right there. Rain will be a factor later on in the evening. It's a question of when. Chance of rain around 9 o'clock, just past the 7 o'clock hour here in Greenville. Payoff pitch on the way from J.D. Hay. Hamilton takes low. It's ball 4. A good at-bat by Christian Hamilton. And now 2 runners on with nobody out to start the 6th. For for Danville. They need 7 to tie and 8 to take the lead here. Second baseman Zach Altamira with a chance to hit. Right-hander is up in the Flyboys bullpen. But still a 7-run cushion for J.D. Hay to work with here. Looking for a double play or a strikeout, or if he's really lucky, maybe a triple play. Hay looking in for the side from Dylan Jackson, the catcher, facing the right-handed hitter, Zach Altamira. The righty looks at second, and Hay comes home. Altamira takes the first pitch strike. Fastball on the outside edge. Elsewhere around the Appy League, Johnson City has opened up a 10-1 lead on Bristol in the 5th. Kingsport and Pulaski, Bluefield and Burlington both just underway in the 1st. Elizabethton out to a 9-3 lead on the Tri-State Coldcats. They're in the top of the 8th. Next pitch to Altamira, a big swing and a miss on a slider, and the count 0-2. Hay quickly back on the rubber and looking for the strikeout. Runners take their leads at first and second. And from the letters, Hay deals the 0-2. Altamira checks his swing, and they say he didn't go. I don't know how you can appeal a check swing to second base. There are only 2 umpires on all these crews. You'd think the home plate umpire would actually have a better view of it. One to the count on Altamira, is committed to New Mexico Junior College. And the pitch. Swung on, hit sharply, but foul down the third base line. Altamira doing a good job to fight that one off. Altamira, one of 2 Australians on this Otterbots roster. The other is Jay Hewitt, a pitcher who we saw a couple nights ago. 1-2. Slider locks him up, strike 3. Altamira goes down looking for the second time in as many innings. He bailed on that slider from J.D. Hay. Fool. That's your first out here in the top of the 6th. Garrett Scholl digging in. He's had a productive day. 1 for 2 with a triple, 2 RBIs and a run scored. Chance for him to add to that RBI total here. First and second, the Otterbots trailing by 7, but the heart of their order due up. And as we saw in the 5th when they scored 4 runs, you can never count them out. Hayes set, and the pitch. Scholl takes low. In the dirt as it kicks out in front of home plate, but Jackson keeps the runners where they are. Hay looking in for the sign. He's ready. Now the 1-0 to Scholl. Swung on, tapped foul down the first base line. One the count on Garrett Scholl. Cordero at second base, Hamilton over there at first. Scholl takes low and outside. Hay missing with the changeup, and the count 2-1. Hamilton says he liked that pitch as he throws the ball back to J.D. Hay. 15-8 Flyboys. We're in the top of inning number 6. Flyboys looking to lock up the series here at home against the Otterbots. They can do that with a win in game 1 of this doubleheader. Now the 2-1 to Scholl. Big swing and a miss at a high fastball. 2-2 the count. Scholl trying to get his arms extended that time, but just swung under the heater from J.D. Hay. Hay, a right-hander out of Tallahassee State Community College. Throws the 2-2 to Scholl. Slider misses low, and the count runs full. Scholl out of Oklahoma State. Saw plenty of action in his freshman season with the Cowboys. Played in 37 games. Hit .250, 3 homers, 10 runs driven in. Full count to him here. Hay delivers. Shull takes low, ball 4, and the bases are loaded with 1 away. Another quality at-bat by Garrett Shull. Very patient. Second consecutive inning where he's worked a 2-strike count back to a walk. That'll bring the Flyboys pitching coach out of the dugout before Khalil Pratt, the cleanup hitter, comes to the plate. Jared Morton wanting to talk things over with everybody. As the mound meeting breaks up, we'll reset things for you. Flyboys leading the Otterbots 15-8 here in the top of inning number 6. Greenville 15 runs on just 9 hits. No errors for either side. Danville 8 runs on 8 hits. Neither team has left many runners on base. Greenville with 4, Danville with 3. Bases loaded, 1 away. As Danville trails by 7, they'll send the cleanup man, Khalil Pratt, to the plate. And the scoring has really kicked off. Danville scored 3 in the 3rd, 5 in the 5th. Greenville scored 3 in the 3rd, 6 in the 4th, and 5 in the 5th. Danville scored 4 in the 5th, I should say. Hay looking for a timely double play. First pitch to Pratt, misses low. Jackson swallows it up behind home plate. The runner at third base, Cordero, he singled to lead off the inning, stole second base. Christian Hamilton walked. He's at second. Garrett Shull walked. He's at first. All the runners take their leads. The 1-0 to Pratt. Low and away, ball 2. Hay looking for the ground ball. That looked like a changeup. Trying to grab the outside edge about knee high, but too low, and Khalil Pratt didn't bite. We'll have game 2 of this doubleheader coming up 30 minutes after the conclusion of this one. Weather permitting, we'll have fireworks to follow. Hay deals the 2-0. Backdoor slider, a strike to Khalil Pratt. Pratt, one of 2 triples hit by the Otterbots in this game. Scored on a wild pitch. That was Danville's first run of the game back in inning number 2. 2 on the count. Hay, the pitch. Pratt takes an outside fastball right on the edge for strike 2. He leaned out over the plate, took a couple steps out of the batter's box, thinking it might have been ball 3. Instead, J.D. Hay evens the count at 2-2. And before the pitch, Pratt takes time. Now Pratt back in that lefty batter's box. White spikes with the black Nike swoosh on them. Hayes set. And now the 2-2. Swung on, chopped foul at home plate. Got a piece of Pratt in the box. On deck, Mason Pangborn. He'll hit so long as Pratt does not ground into an inning-ending double play, or perhaps maybe a fly out and then a play at the plate. Either one of those would end the inning without a run, which would be a Houdini act by J.D. Hay. Aces loaded, the 2-2. Pratt swings and misses, strike 3. Got him to go after the backdoor slider that time. Now the bases loaded, but J.D. Hay an out away from escaping without a run crossing home plate. Austin Pangborn looks to keep the Danville rally going. They have not scored yet in this inning. Bases loaded, 2 away. The man from Austin P had an RBI single back in the 5th. Before the pitch, Hay steps off. Now back on the rubber. A slightly closed set. Glove belt high, the first pitch. Well outside, snared by Jackson as he comes out of his crouch. May have saved a run on what could have been a wild pitch. We had sun at the start of the game. Now the sun behind the clouds, floodlights taking effect. 1-0 the count. Hay fires. Pangborn swings through a breaking ball, and the count is 1-1. Hay looking for a big out number 3 to keep the Otterbots off the board. They had the bases loaded with only 1 away. Still looking to break through in the run column here, though. 1-1 misses outside. And this might be one where you circle it if the Otterbots don't score here. Trailing by 7. You can even just get a couple. Makes you feel like you have a little bit more of a chance. But also the Flyboys have been held scoreless in just 1/2 inning today. That was back in the 2nd inning. Pangborn ahead 2-1. Hay comes home. There's a changeup right on the outside black for strike 2. Good arm action on that changeup from J.D. Hay. Looking for the put-away pitch. Cordero at third after the leadoff single. He advanced to second, swiped it, and then advanced to third after a pair of walks in the inning. Hamilton at second, Scholl at first. Pangborn home with the 2-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. There's your Houdini act. Bases loaded, 1 away, but J.D. Hay gets out of it without allowing a run. We'll go to the home half of inning number 6. Flyboys in control of this one. 15-8 over Danville on the Greenville Flyboys Baseball Network. Netting Pros and Stadionic are proud to return as the official netting partner of the Appalachian League. Our team prides themselves on making sports facilities iconic. Whether it's batting practice equipment, facility netting, custom wall padding, or so much more, Netting Pros and Stadionic are the most trusted names in the industry for facility equipment solutions. Visit nettingpros.com today to learn more. Stay connected with what matters most. GEA Connect offers reliable, local internet starting at just $50 a month, and all customers that are in the GEA Connect service territory are eligible for this rate. Enjoy fast speeds and dependable service that keeps the whole family online. Visit mygea.net or call 423-636-6200 today to learn how we can connect your home. Netting Pros and Stadionic are proud to return as the official netting partner of the Appalachian League. Our team prides themselves on making sports facilities iconic. Whether it's batting practice equipment, facility netting, custom wall padding, or so much more, Netting Pros and Stadionic are the most trusted names in the industry for facility equipment solutions. Visit nettingpros.com today to learn more. It's been a crazy one here at Pioneer Park this afternoon. Flyboys leading the Otterbots 15-8 in Game 1 of this 7-inning doubleheader. New inning means a new pitcher for Danville, I should say. The Otterbots changing pitchers every inning in Game 1 of this twin bill. I hope, for the sake of my scorebook, that they don't do the same in Game 2. Peyton Huff on the mound for the Otterbots, trying to keep the Flyboys off the board, which has not been an easy task. The only one to do it, Matt Spada, the southpaw, who worked a scoreless 2nd inning. Huff on the hill out of Southern University. Had a good season last year with the Jags. 2-1 with a 4.28 ERA and 15 appearances. A.J. Diaz leading things off for the Flyboys. It'll be 8-9-1 as they try to extend this 7-run lead. Heading to the top of the 7th, which of course will be the last inning of this game, assuming things stay as they are. Before Diaz digs in, we'll take a look around the Appy League. Elizabethton in control over Tri-State, up 9-3 in the top of the 9th. Johnson City 13-1 over Bristol. Kingsport Pulaski scoreless in the 2nd, as are Bluefield in Burlington in the 2nd frame. First pitch from Huff to Diaz is a breaking ball in the dirt. We have a couple doubleheaders on tap today outside of Greenville. Bristol and Johnson City rained out last night, as were Elizabethton and Tri-State. Fastball on the low inside corner to Diaz. A pitcher-friendly call. Diaz shaking his head, didn't like it. Diaz hitless so far this season, but a pair of walks and a pair of runs scored today. Huff from the stretch, the 1-1. Good breaking ball on the low outside corner. A tight slider from the right-hander. Huff, a compact arm action from the right side. Works exclusively from the stretch out of a closed set. A little Aroldis Chapman-esque, except from the right side instead of the left. Strike 3 called on Diaz. He's gone on 4 pitches. Another breaking ball. Froze the Flyboys first baseman that time.
Batting for the Flyboys, number 25, Jace Patton.
Jace Patton singled and scored a run back in the 5th. Also an RBI on a sac fly to his credit today. And if Game 2 is anything like Game 1 of this doubleheader, you will not want to go anywhere. Game 2 getting underway 30 minutes after this one wraps up. First pitch to Patton, a check swing on a slider. He went around, strike 1. Had him well out in front, did Peyton Huff. After retiring the leadoff man, A.J. Diaz, on the same pitch. Long pause, and the 0-1. Another slider, strike 2. These are well-located pitches from Huff, right at the bottom of the zone to the right-handed hitters in this Flyboys lineup. Landing it for strikes, which is the key. Huff set, and the 0-2 to Patton. Fastball in the dirt, ricochets off the foot of the umpire and lands halfway between the plate and the mound. 1-2 the count on Patton. Base is empty, 1 away in the bottom of the 6th. Flyboys up 15-8, looking to add some insurance before we go to the top of inning number 7. 1-2 popped over the backstop and out of play. I'm sure it's weird for a lot of these guys. They probably haven't played many 7-inning games since high school. This one a doubleheader, cutting the total innings from 18 to 14, which I'm sure both pitching coaches are very appreciative of. Huff's ready. Now the 1-2. Patton swings through a nice off-speed pitch. Had him out in front once again. A pair of strikeouts to start the outing for Peyton Huff. Micah Jordan hitting with the bases empty and 2 away. Which, if you're Danville, that's about the best possible situation you can face Jordan in. 2 for 2 with 4 runs scored today. He's reached all 4 times he's hit. To the plate for the 5th time in 6 innings. I mean, if we played this out into a full 9-inning game, Micah Jordan might have a chance to hit 7 times. Takes the first pitch in the dirt from Huff. I don't know how many times you've ever seen a guy come to the plate 7 times in 9 innings. The way this game is trending, if we were to play 9, that might be how this one shakes out. But we'll never know for sure. A lot of fans filing in late to this game. The 5 o'clock start a little bit earlier than usual. 1-0. A 58-foot slider. Ball 2. That ball through the wickets of the catcher to the backstop. Jordan in the right-handed batter's box. A little bit of movement with the bat. A 2-0 in the dirt, ball 3. Peyton Miller on deck for Greenville. 2 strikeouts to start the inning for Peyton Huff, but now 3 consecutive balls to Micah Jordan. Wonder if maybe Huff goes back to the slider that he was landing so well for strikes at the start of the inning here on 3-0. Whatever pitch a pitcher feels best about, usually what he goes to. Huff goes to the fastball. Jordan fights it off. It's down into shallow right field. He's got his 3rd hit of the ball game. Jordan a big turnaround first. He'll stop there once again. But he's reached all 5 times. 3 hits on the day so far for Jordan. He kind of inside-outed that fastball. The inside part of the plate just fought it off over the head of the first baseman, Eamon Chandler. Well in front of Khalil Pratt onto the shallow grass in right field. So Jordan singles. Peyton Miller's reached 3 of 4 times. Jordan not being held on at first base by Eamon Chandler. He does not steal. Huff, a fastball fouled back in the count 0-1 on Peyton Miller. Wonder if maybe it's kind of a gentleman's agreement that Jordan's not going to try to take second base with the Flyboys up by 7, needing 3 outs to salt this game away once we get to the top of inning number 7. Sometimes you hear about unwritten rules in baseball. That one might be one of them. You think back to 2021, Chicago White Sox were in Minneapolis taking on the Twins. 0-1 to Miller, a strike on a breaking ball. The White Sox were up by a ton. It was the top of the 9th. The Twins had put a position player in the game. Yermin Mercedes, who was in the middle of a crazy run at that point early in the 2021 season, swung for the fences and hit a 3-run homer. Afterwards, White Sox manager Tony La Russa apologized to the Twins, saying that we don't do that around here because that violates an unwritten rule. 0-2 in the dirt, gets away from the catcher Cordero. Jordan retreats back to first. Not often do you see a manager apologizing for one of his guys hitting a home run, but that was what La Russa did after Mercedes homered off a position player in the 9th inning of a game that was basically decided. The White Sox up by somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 runs by that point. Anytime a team puts a position player in, they're basically conceding the game. 1-2. Huff misses low and in. And after Mercedes hit that home run, his batting average dropped like a boulder. He was hitting well over 300. That was about a month into the 2021 season. And afterwards, his batting average dropped to 120, and he was eventually cut by the White Sox. 2-2 on the inside corner, strike 3. Huff doesn't like it, but there's not much he can do to stop it. Flyboys, no runs, a hit, a man left. On to the 7th. As the Flyboys do not score for the first time since the 2nd. Greenville needing 3 outs before the Otterbots score 7 runs. And this game is on ice. You're listening to the Greenville Flyboys Baseball Network.
Craving pizza? Look no further than Pizza Inn in Greenville, America's hometown pizza place since 1958. Handmade daily with fresh dough. Original thin and original pizza buffet. Choose from a variety of pizzas, pasta, salad, and desserts. Located at 275 East Andrew Johnson Highway. Open daily from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday through Thursday and 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. Friday and Saturday. Call 423-638-2000 or visit Pizza Inn's website for more information. Enjoy the deliciousness at Pizza Inn. Schwartz Construction Solutions is your local trusted exterior remodeling company, specializing in building decks, porches, garages, and room additions. They have served the Tri-Cities for over a decade, have a high customer return rate, and are BBB accredited. Give Schwartz Construction Solutions a call to discuss your next project. 2025 Greenville Flyboys baseball season is underway at Pioneer Park. Single game tickets for every Flyboys home game can be purchased online at flyboysbaseball.com. Skip the line and buy online at flyboysbaseball.com. Looking to watch a Greenville Flyboys baseball game in style this summer? Book your very own luxury suite for 20 of your employees, clients, friends, or family. That includes indoor and outdoor seating, air conditioning, TV, and your own personal suite hostess. Suite catering provided by Top Choice Barbecue can be included for an additional fee. Call 423-609-7400 to book your luxury suite today. It's Greenville Flyboys season, and what better way to enjoy the games at Pioneer Park than from your own personal seats? Season tickets and mini plans are available now, starting at only $80. Secure your seats today by stopping by our ticket office or calling 423-609-7400. Unbound Digital provides managed IT services that ensure your business stays connected, secure, and running smoothly. With 24/7 monitoring, guaranteed response times, and expert support, we take care of your technology needs so you can focus on what matters most, your business.
Last chance for the Danville Otterbots, top of the 7th here from Pioneer Park. Flyboys in control of this one, 15-8. Eamon Chandler, Alexander Sifford, and Jackson Goldberg. 6, 7, 8 due up for Danville. On the mound for the Flyboys to get the final 3 outs is Drew Maddox, and he delivers a first pitch strike to Chandler. So J.D. Hayes' day is done. A scoreless inning for him. Back in the 6th. Next pitch misses from Drew Maddox. Hay, 1 inning, a hit, no runs. 3 strikeouts, fouled away by Chandler, the count 1-2. Hay striking out the side, stranding the bases loaded after a pair of walks and a single. So Drew Maddox looking for 3 more outs to send the Otterbots packing and lock up the series for the Flyboys. They'll go for the sweep 30 minutes after this game concludes. Fastball misses outside, the count 2-2 to Chandler. Now Maddox is ready. The 2-2, swung on and missed. Chandler down on strikes. 4 of the last 5 batters retired via the strikeout by Flyboys pitchers. That's the first punch out of the day for Drew Maddox. Flyboys pitchers struck out 18 Otterbots hitters in game 1 of this series. Sifford the next to hit. 1 for 3 with an RBI single today. Flyboys up 15-8. Need 2 more outs to secure game 1 of this 7-inning doubleheader. Sifford on Star Wars night here at Pioneer Park has his headshot replaced by, it's a Star Wars droid. I don't remember the exact name. I'm not big into Star Wars. Sifford takes inside, ball 2. I wish I knew what it was called. It's tan, got a funky head, very pointy, I guess. That's the best description I can offer, which for the Star Wars aficionados out there, I'm sure is very disappointing. 2-0 count on Sifford. Maddox from the stretch, the pitch. Line right back up the middle. A sharply hit single. Almost hit Drew Maddox as it made its way into center field. A 1-out single, second hit of the day for Sifford, and that brings Jackson Goldberg to the plate. Double play would end it.
Number 2, Jackson Goldberg.
Goldberg, a much better day today after going 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts in the series opener. He's 1 for 2 with a run scored today. Sifford off first, held on by A.J. Diaz, a short lead. First pitch, swing and a miss at a slider. Well out in front of the breaking ball. Count 0-1 on the Creighton third baseman. The Blue Jays playing their home games in Omaha, Nebraska. They do play some games at Charles Schwab Field, the home of the College World Series, where we had our first ticket punched earlier today as I think it was Coastal Carolina taking down Auburn in the Auburn Super Regional. Breaking ball misses inside to Goldberg. The count is 1-1. Arkansas up 4-2 on the Tennessee Volunteers in game 1 of that Super Regional in Fayetteville. They're in the bottom of the 8th. Much to the chagrin of the Vols fans around here in East Tennessee. 1-1 the count, and the pitch. Fastball just low from Drew Maddox. Now the count 2-1. We'll take a look at the scoreboard around the college baseball postseason, and it was Coastal Carolina sweeping Auburn in the Auburn Super Regional. The SEC continuing to be bested by teams that some may view as inferior. 2-1 popped up on the infield. Oh no, a collision between Drew Maddox and the first baseman A.J. Diaz. The ball drops in fair territory. The runner got hung up. They'll get the force play at second, and now time is called. It was an awkward play. A pop-up just in front of the first base bag. And the pitcher, Drew Maddox, and the first baseman, Diaz, converging on the ball. It drops in fair territory as the two of them collide. Both of them look to be okay as they're checked on by the athletic trainer. But because the runner at first base, Sifford, had to wait to see if it would drop, he did not have any chance of making it to second base. So he's retired on the fielder's choice as Goldberg trades places with him. 2 away, and Drew Maddox looks like he's okay, and that's the most important thing. The umpire's talking things over. I'm pretty sure they only got 1 out on that play. I was following the ball, and I kind of assumed that Goldberg would reach. Umpire's still talking it over. And I think they may have just said that Goldberg's out as well. And it looks like they did, and that's how this game ends. That's a very odd ending to a game. But the Flyboys win game 1 of this doubleheader, 15-8. Your final on an awkward double play. I don't even know how that's scored, I'm going to be honest. It was a pop-up on the infield in front of first base. Diaz and Maddox collided as the ball dropped. They went to second for the force play, and I assumed that was all they would get. But at the tail end of the play, I guess Goldberg didn't run it out. Now, it was partially because of the collision that was in front of him in the base path along first base. But Goldberg did not get to the first base bag before the force play occurred there. And that is how game 1 of this doubleheader ends. The Flyboys win 15-8. Game 2 coming up in half an hour. The Flyboys improve to 2-0 on the season, winning an offensive clinic. 15-8 your final once again. The Otterbots held scoreless after the 5th. Flyboys scoring 14 times between the 3rd and the 5th to take this one. We'll talk to you shortly for game 2 of this doubleheader. Again, your final in game 1 of the doubleheader. Flyboys win 15-8. They've locked up the series. They'll go for the sweep here just past the top of the hour. You've been listening to Greenville Flyboys Baseball on the Flyboys Baseball Network.